Mic check. Hello. This'll be fun. Second try. Yo, it's working now. I had such a cinema. I don't know how loud I am. Am I loud, chat? Am I loud? I had such a pleasant, nice, smooth opening with the ocean coming in, and it just wasn't working. Isn't that wonderful? And you know what's stupid? You know what solved it? I literally just removed the microphone device and put it back in again. The OBS equivalent of unplugging it and plugging it back in. Truly, that's pretty stupid, but it is fixed now, and I have whatever. How are we all doing tonight? Or today? It's day for me. How are we doing? Let me see if this is working. Look at that. Yeah, there's two of me. Yeah. Nice. Okay. How's it going? Yo, I'm doing pretty well. You missed me? Thank you very much. That's very sweet. I'm glad. How am I doing? I am doing pretty well because that video is done. If you didn't see, by the way, a video went up about when I started streaming the first time. So there's a video. You can watch it. It's a short video. I found the milk. Yes, look, it's milk. This here. Oh, there goes my whatever. Just a stupid add-on I found. I was your new sub since I saw one of you videos last year. Hey, you know what? Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. You're really sorry of what happened in the server. That's totally fine. I just don't go on Discord. It is what it is. Just watch your newest video. I'm so happy that you're doing great. Your new animation pipeline is gorgeous. Thank you very much. I hope you liked that one shot where it functioned exactly as intended. I am back. I have returned. Where did you find that Lego Ninjago intro you featured in today's video? I'm an animator, and I animated it. Crazy as that seems. This is sort of a live Q&A behind the scenes stream, so I can pull that up. I can go to that. Where is it? Here we go. Ninjago is joded. Joded. It's joded, guys. It's very joded. Will you ever make a full Lego animated short film? Yes, and I have many planned. Oh, this is the one that broke, actually, I think. Has to happen. Oh, I'm gonna get claimed. Can't have that in there. Yeah, no, I had an idea for. I basically, in the script for the video, I had a shot where I was like, I just wanted to see. I basically just had to fill it with some B-roll. And I was like, I need to animate things for fun and put them here. I remember you whispered in my ear, boy, hey, you know what? It was pretty funny, though. What kind of music do you listen to? I will listen to literally anything that has a pulse. As long as I can, bounce my head to it, I'm good. I guess I should formally introduce what we're doing today. I'm just kind of talking, though I do enjoy it. Anyway, welcome. Hi. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's stream. Pretty exciting. Pretty cool. It's good to be back after 10 months of not posting videos. I assure you, I was working in that time. But, life exists, and money is a thing that, unfortunately, Markiplier. Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier. Do love Markiplier. Very classic. Anyway, what are we doing today? My ADHD brain asks. Today, this is sort of a live Q&A session. Sort of. Pretty much. It's very freeform. Sort of live Q&A / live behind the scenes. No, I didn't get snapped by Thanos. I did not get Mr. Stark. I don't feel so gooded. It didn't happen, thankfully. I'm all right. I'm back. I'm doing okay. I'm doing better than when I posted that last video. That was very adamant, and it's been a long break. a lot's happened, a lot's changed, and I've done a lot of work in the meantime, and there are lots of projects coming soon TM. So, with that out of the way, hi, welcome. If you were able to work for a while and make a Lego movie, how long do you think you would be able to make one? Like 10, 30 minutes. I have projects ranging from like 2 minutes, then I have like a 5-minute one, then I have like an 8-minute one, and then I have like a 20-minute one, and then I picture like a, like a 90-minute one day. Work like a 9 to 5. No, I'm an animator as well as my freelance job. So, when I need to make money, I do that. I asked a long time ago on stream where you'd recommend starting to learn Blender. Well, I've started. Only really done modeling so far, but I hope to get good enough at it to make a movie. So thanks, lol. You are very welcome, but it was all you, man. You got this. It's pretty excited. Are the majority of your projects Lego animated or only some? I would venture to say all of them, because not that I can't, I have enough skills that I could do whatever, but it's just convenient. How do you make your own textures on your Lego models? Because I am having trouble with it. Ads? I thought I turned off monetization. No shot you got an ad. Well, unless it's when you click onto the stream, I think that can happen anyway, but hold on. Let me not leak anything. I don't know what's gonna pop on the screen. Yeah, so, I think learning Blender is such an important thing. It's such a versatile program. You can do anything these days. It's just all available, and that is very cool. Let me delete the other stream. I don't need that one. Let's see, monetization. It defaulted to on again. Here, I'm turning it off, so you shouldn't get any more ads. No worries. I didn't want that. Have I ever heard of the Backrooms? Yes, but I've not played any Backrooms fan games, and I've not watched any Backrooms content, but I have heard of it. Your lighting is amazing in every possible way, man. Do you use Nuke or another thing? I gave up on Nuke because I did not want to pay money, so I do not currently use Nuke. I use Resolve, which has a compositor program like Nuke built into it. While saying no to money, yeah, you know what? That's kind of like my thing at this point, to be honest. I'm broke, and it's okay. Money is not as important as some other things. I've been having a problem with my Lego Epic rig or whatever, where the rig doesn't work on all the minifigure parts, and I'm getting frustrated, lol. I would recommend just talking to people in the Blenderbricks server, because they will be able to help you with that. And without seeing the specifics of your file, I do not know. Have you ever tried stop motion? Yes, I started on stop motion when I was basically a baby. Have you got any stuff you've made but not uploaded that you'd be able to show us? That's a good question. I wonder if I do. I have a ton of random little test footages of denoising tests, random scenes I've built, things from upcoming stuff. Any tips for animation you wish you knew earlier? That's a really good question, actually. I would say learning just ease in, ease out is 99% of all animation, to be honest. Here, I'll just do this in a new scene. But just to say what I mean real quick. If you have literally the basis fundamental of all animation is, and I'll do this completely by hand. Let me do, let's say 10 frames. And if I keyframe this, I'm just going to do this super rough. And I bet you that'll look perfectly smooth. Okay, not smooth, but the motion is acceptable. Because slow in, slow out, that's all you need. It's the basis of all animation, and I really do just think that's everything. There are a lot of questions here, so I do need to slow down for a second. Let's see. What is the secret of good mouth tracking? Is my audio good? It sounds a little bad. I guess it's because I'm turning my head the other way to look at chat. I can bring you guys here for a second. I'll do that. What is the secret of good mouth tracking on Lego characters, like making it align with talking? Is there any easy shortcut or? There is no shortcut. You do have to get used to it, but My advice on... I wonder, can I zoom in? This is still Chrome, right? Yeah, I'm going to zoom in. Stop clicking. There's no real secret to it. However, I do think the best advice I can give you is while you're animating, have a mirror next to you so you can just look at your mouth. Very enunciate it and yeah, stuff like that. As long as you can look at yourself for reference. Hi, Zach. How are you? I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. Let's see. I saw you in a lot of projects and stop motions, like, for example, that guy with cardboard mechs, or in the Lego Mr. Beast movie. The Lego Mr. Beast movie, I animated that, or at least the last few episodes, so that's why I'm in that. But the other one was Lofty Studios, and he's just a great stop-motion Lego creator. He just asked me to be in the video, so he was really cool. Let's see. What kind of add-on do you use to get that Lego movie quality? It's technically still... mecha bricks, but it's like heavily skinned overall. No, skinned is a bad word for it. It's a lot of my own materials, just using the mecha bricks pipeline as like a very baseline. Let's see what else. What software do you use for storyboards before you animate your Lego animations? That's a good question. This is bad advice because I spent a lot of money on this when I was a kid who had money for the first time. I used a device called the Remarkable, which is an e-ink tablet. It's very expensive. Don't buy it. It's mostly a waste of money. I use it all the time, but I'm in a very, very specific use case. Basically, it's like a Kindle, if you've ever used one of those, that you can write on and write with. Also, excuse me if I'm being a little quiet, by the way. I have a headache, but I didn't want to not stream because that was on my to-do list for today. Anyway, this is like my sort of storyboard template. And normally it's horizontal. I don't know if I can do that on here. But anyway, I have a little like drawing tablet in real life, and I can just fill these out with little thumbnails and use that to plan out what I'm going to do. Sorry if I'm blinding anyone, by the way. I prefer night mode on things, but this one doesn't have it. That's spoilers. Don't look at that. Do I have any... Nah, I don't really have any... Oh, maybe actually. Hold on. This one. This is a storyboard for a video that's already come out, so I can show this. Just go to this. And this also, it's the correct orientation because it was a short, so this is vertical. Anyway, this is how simple it's got to be. It's very simple. Like, just get the idea of the shot across. This is the car chase, by the way. This is a short on the channel. So, it's very fun. But as you can see, you show motion, you imply it, and then this is all here. I draw it on a physical tablet in real life, and it's immediately stored on the cloud, so I can come to my computer and use this for shot reference. Very fun, very useful. Good times. I actually really love that one. All right, let's see what else we got. How many other Lego YouTubers have you met? Do you mean in real life, or do you mean like virtually? Because virtually I've met a lot. In real life, I don't think I've met a single one. Hi to you, Mark. I'm Bing. 4 numbers. You hear me perfectly. Good. I'm glad my audio is good tonight. Which of the Lego movies are your favorite? I actually don't know if I've answered this question before, but I feel like I should have. I would say... This is a thing for me. A lot of the time, which one I believe is the best is not necessarily my favorite. If you had to ask me which of the 4 Lego movies is the best, it's probably still the original Lego movie. But as far as which one's my favorite, I gotta say I'm a sucker for the Lego Ninjago movie. I know the plot's weird and dumb and kind of simple, but also confusing. But it's so good vibes, It's very pretty. The animation's stunning. That one. That's my answer. What else we got? Is Blender the best option for Lego animation? For CGI, I feel like it is, just because it's such a niche community, but so many assets have been built for it for Blender. So I think it's worth it. Why does everyone hate the Ninjago movie? I hated it when it came out too. Now it's my favorite. And I think it's because when I first watched it, I was expecting it to be like the show. And so now in a vacuum, I can kind of appreciate it, but at the time. When are you uploading again? The plan is to do one video a month. That's the plan. And you know what? I'm saying that out loud because I do want to hold myself to that standard. So that means at the start of February. Or wait, it's March. What am I talking about? At the end of March / the start of April. That's the goal. What else we got? I gotta say, you've definitely been the closest to getting to the Lego movies with your animation. I love how regular people can get to cinema quality so easily nowadays. I think it's so important. Just any amount of like closing the gap between Hollywood and the individual. I think it's, I don't know. So many people are like doom and gloom about art and AI and whatever. And to me, I just don't care. Like, there's not a bone in my body that's worried about it or even thinks about it, because I'm like, if I had a button I could press that would automatically make every animation done, I wouldn't press the button because then I wouldn't be an animator. So I like doing the animation. That's my favorite part. What we got? Did you see the stop motion Lego war animation with the transforming car and the Dino Cop? I watch so little other Lego animation content, if I'm honest. I watch very, very little and specific content on YouTube from like the same 5 channels. So, no, sorry. I haven't seen it. Do you have Huzz yet? Because if you don't, I would be so surprised because of how far you got on YouTube. What is Huzz? I do not know Huzz. I am unaware. I am ignorant to Huzz. The first explosion was really smooth, by the way. Oh, the one in the DeLorean scene? That was pretty fun. I actually really enjoyed that. How do you normally organize your assets in Blender? Like the paths you use and what kind of naming conventions? It's kind of bloated and messy by now just because I've sort of accumulated a lot of files over time. But for the most part, everything, it depends like on a per project basis. I have one master folder with everything in it, and it's, the scenes are in one, the actual shots are in another, and then storyboards, the thumbnail for the video, whatever, all in subfolders. It's not too bad. But honestly, the answer with organization is organize everything the best way for you. What else we got? Yo, Citrine's in here. Sorry, I didn't see. I had to scroll down. What's up, Citrine? How's it going? Let's see. What else we got? When are you uploading it? Oh, I did answer that. I went back up. What do you think of the Lego Batman movie? I think it's funnier than the original Lego movie, but not quite as cool as the Ninjago movie, in my opinion. But I still love the Lego. I watch them all the time, so there you go. What are your thoughts on stop motion? I think it's animation, but according to the #1 comment I get on YouTube, which is this stop motion or animation, most people don't seem to think stop motion is animation. Fools. The lighting in your videos is stunning. Thank you very much. You can definitely do it too, by the way. It's not that hard. The principles of lighting don't change. I think part of the reason people hate the Ninjago movie is because the jungle wasn't made out of Lego. Really? That's one of the reasons I love it. I like the amount of non-Lego stuff they had. I like that in the original Lego movie. Does the milk taste good? Milk always tastes good. It's one of my favorite beverages, but my favorite beverage is kind of obvious. If you don't know that, you're not a real one. I'm offended that you don't watch stop motion as a stop motioner. All right, who's gonna tell them? Who's gonna tell them? I can't do it, guys. I can't tell them. What do you think about the new Goofy Lego series on Netflix and other shows? All right, I don't watch Lego shows either, to be honest. Though I did watch Rebuild the Galaxy. I enjoyed that one. Good vibes on that one. How did I learn to do this? Very slowly over the course of the last 10 years would be the answer to that. I watched a lot of Blender Guru. I watched a lot of Overwatch cinematics and then tried to remake them poorly. That's mostly the answer about that one. Do you know why Mechabricks is not working right now? I don't. I had to go get an asset the other day, and I couldn't do it, so that was strange. Citrine might know. Bug Citrine about it. I'm sure he'll love that. I'm good. I hope you're doing good as well. I'm finally hard at work animating a big animation. I'm glad to see you're back at it too. The Avengers are coming back. Especially you were in school for a long time, so yeah. Being an adult, you know how that works. Do I watch Ninjago? I have not watched Ninjago since I think the end of I think I tuned out like midway through the Tournament of Elements, so I haven't watched it in a while. But I like the classic stuff. Kind of just a thing I noticed, but it seems with the Lego movies, the original movie had a more cinematic art style, mimicking a stereotypical action movie, and the later movies have a weird one. I actually think that's the most true for the Lego Batman movie, just because, you know, they wanted it to be like a full-on action movie. So you think water is better than milk, or do you think they are equal? What kind of question is that? Water, once the bringer of life. All right. When milk becomes the basis of all life, then talk to me, all right? Don't even hit me up if you ain't a water drinker. And no pulp, please. Do I have a favorite Lego set? All right, here's another secret about me. I don't really buy Lego sets, like at all. Like at all. The last Lego set I bought was for a video, and that would kind of be spoilers, but I've teased it so much, so. I think the last Lego set I bought was the Elphaba Glinda room thing, and I did that just so I could get their like hair models in real life and use them for reference. Before that, it was the Lego Optimus Prime, just because seeing Hasbro and Lego work together surprised me, and I wanted to see what that was like. And actually, when I bought that one was when I decided I didn't really want to buy Lego sets anymore, because I bought it and then I never touched it again, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe this isn't for me. So, yeah. I think Lego sets are very cool, but I don't have a lot of money, so I'll stick to building Lego digitally. Works for me. Had to continue this on another comment, but the other movies have a very solid look to them, if that makes sense. I mean, that's technically true, but it's actually because they got more accurate with the subsurface scattering. You'll notice a lot of shots in the first Lego movie. The SSS looks very waxy. So, that's perceptive of you, though, that you did notice that. How do you set up that huge library with all the names and stuff? Do you manually rename it, or is there some kind of script you use? I did it by hand. I'm not going to lie. I did it entirely by hand. Oh, also, I should talk about this a little bit. How do you make your mats? That is okay, you know, if you want the real answer, I watch a lot of the Lego movies. I notice things that they have, and then I mimic that. And then also, I look at Legos in real life, and then I mimic that. That is my answer, and that is how you do it. Did you build your studio from the videos in real life? I actually did. I did do that. It's specific. Let me see if I can find just this one. Yeah, no, I own this in real life. I built this in Bricklink Studio, specifically, and I also, oh, what the heck? I only used real life parts, so I did purchase this, and I have this in real life, along with my minifig. It's pretty cool. You're like Tony Stark, and Citrine is like Captain America. Well, yeah, but we ain't beefing. I didn't like that. Let's see. It's not worth watching Ninjago's new series. Yeah, my brother still watches it. Babies drink milk. I didn't drink milk when I was a baby. I was a formula baby. I don't actually know if that's true, but I'm going to use it for my point anyway. Do you have a single Lego set in your room? Because I got more than 10. I have the Elphaba Glinda like room. I have the Lego Wizards chess. I have Optimus Prime, a bonsai tree, and like a ton of random figures that are just here for some reason. If a potato steals your water, what are you doing? I'm eating the potato, to be honest. Your minifig IRL is custom printed too? Yes, it is. I don't remember who did it. If I did, I would recommend them because they were very cool. But they had like a good price for just literally one custom thing. You know, okay, actually, you know what? Here. Do you have a site? There is. I'll send you the one I use. Or I'll send you. That's vague. I believe it was minifig.me. It's not pad printed. It's the other kind. I don't remember what the other kind is. But it lets you upload an image, and it's not a computer doing it. It's such a small such a small shop that they do it by hand. So if you upload your like image and it's just the image of a torso, they'll totally do that. Also, they only print on the front, but I literally just attached, like, I sent them an email and I was like, hey, this is my order number. Can you add this to the back? This is the back of the torso, and I just want and they just did it. Like, they didn't even upcharge me. So I think it's a small shop in like the UK somewhere, and they're super nice about it. So I recommend that. It's kind of cool. How do I feel about AI data centers using water? There's a misconception about that. Just for the record, when anything uses water, the same thing with you using water to like shower, it's not like that water is just gone from the earth. It is gone from your community, and if yes, it's still bad overall for your community. But they aren't burning water. That's not really how that works. However, that said, I do think there is an absolute... I am not defending AI in the slightest, because I just don't care. I think 99% of all AI tools are useless. And there's a 1% there that is really good. But even the 1% there is usually sourced from stealing from people. And I just can't condone that. Let's see what else. How do you feel? Oh, that's that one. I'm glad you're back, but I'm going to go. I wish the best in life, CL. Absolutely. Have a good rest of your day. UK representation. Speaking of which, where are you from? I am a SoCal baby. I grew up not in LA, but near enough to LA. And I still am near enough to LA. That is still where I am. That was something I thought about, though. So, because someone asked about the big library I hear of this. And yes, for the record, I mean, you could set up a script to do that, but I'm not smart enough to do that. And I'm certainly not patient enough. So I did it by hand. I just downloaded everything, and then the actual system I have. I love that question you just asked, Nub, and I'm gonna get into that because that's a little trick. Yeah, so I just downloaded everything by hand. I put it into like the asset categories that I use just the native Blender thing. But greetings from Argentina. That's awesome, actually. That's super cool. Hablas español? God. I know I'm from California. I took 2 years of Spanish. I can like loosely follow, but no, I am not even close to conversational. But I know a little bit. But I'm blanking on the way to say little, to be honest. So, ugh, yikes. Anyway, so yeah, my system here was I categorized them here on the left with their Mecha Bricks category. Then I went through each item. Let's say the very first one is a chicken. So yeah, it's a chicken. It's a chicken. And so the naming convention I have is, I don't know if you can see this. There's not really a good way for me to zoom in on that. But the actual naming convention is, it's the part's ID number followed by its bricklink name. That way, searching for Lego bricks, I can do by ID or by name. And it's just convenient. What inspired... Markiplier from the video. That is classic. No subdivide. Okay, hold on. Let's see if this works. Does this work? No, I didn't make one for the chicken. Here. Well, I'll do that in a second. Can you bake us a cake? No. But if you want me to bake you a cake, don't worry, I can't do that either. What inspired you to make a Lego YouTube channel? That's a good question. I wanted to do it way back in the day when I was really young, when I first started learning Blender, because I loved the Lego movie. I would have been... Well, how old was I when the Lego movie came out? I think it was 2014, so I think I was 10 years old. Yeah, I wanted to back then. I didn't have the skills, and I watched a lot of like Ninjago at the time and like all of the other stuff. So I wanted to then. I didn't have the skills. I came back to it later once I learned a lot more Blender, and once I realized I could do it, that was exciting. So that's why I still do it. I take back my last statement. The chicken is the best part of Lego. Yeah, everyone knew. That's why they use so many chickens and everything for some reason. So rumor has it that you found the milk. I did find the milk. And it's tasty, but not as tasty as water. Anyway, I keep getting interrupted because I have ADHD. But basically, once you catalog all of them by hand, it's pretty cool. You can do it. Now, there's two things I want to cover. One, I did this. This is part of my redoing the entire pipeline. But as you can see, I redid all of the Lego logos on all of the bricks. That took a while because you do have to do it by hand. So I did do that. So that's done. And it does work on importing directly from Megabricks. I don't know if I have one down there. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. But yeah, if I import a Megabricks, I do have a bunch, so I'm just going to click one of these and hope it isn't huge. Wow, I picked the one thing that doesn't have a Lego logo. That's great. Here we go. We play roulette again. Just see what we get. It's like a gacha game. No, I picked another thing that I think that's a cookie. I didn't ask for a cookie. What else we got? These are just random things I've downloaded. This is just some random modular thing. Whatever. Anyway, as you can see, this was just imported from Megabricks and it has the thing. And that's because the add-on does have very, very rudimentary functionality to use custom models. So I just used that system. And it was kind of painful, and there are actually kind of a lot of errors. But once you learn it, you can kind of figure it out. It's not too bad. Wouldn't it be the frog then? They've totally used more of those. Fact check. Let's see. Frog appears in 277 sets. Chicken. 2 sets. Yeah, I don't know if that's right. Hold on. That has to be that version or something. What? Why is this only a... Oh, it's looking up. That's the wrong one. Look, Bricklink, you gotta make me look good. What are we doing? This one? Wait, what am I doing? I can just look. I have the part. No, it's that one. Apparently that's only in 2. Whatever. You're right, but wait. Is it fooling me? Wasn't that the other one? 14 sets. Whatever. Even if you're right, you're wrong or something. I don't know. Oh wait, speaking of baking cakes, I had a video in mind, but it's got a small bit of your cake video's audio. Am I still good to use it? Yeah, dude, it's totally fine. I don't care. As long as you're not just re-uploading the video, I don't care. It's totally fine. I barely even check that, to be honest. I'm insane. Yeah, that's probably true, given knowledge. The chicken has different types of printing. Yeah, it's kind of dumb if I have to filter to a specific print. But to be honest, they never print on the frog one, so that kind of makes sense. My hero is alive. Yo, what's up, Crow? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so just kind of vibing. Oh, that was the other thing. So someone asked earlier if I build in Blender ever, or if I just... Well, so I think the question was, do I build in Blender ever with the big library, or do I just build in Blender when it comes to smears? Because obviously smears I have a thing for. I actually have a separate panel for just smears here. Just random things that I can use as smears. I need to go about updating it, though, because honestly, if I just make it work with the other library, it'll make sense. But that's fine. But to answer that question in the most honest way, this is just plants. I don't know why this is here. To answer the question in the most truthful way, I do not build on the Megabricks website. I never have. Originally, I just built in Studio, Bricklink Studio, because I prefer the tools it has to build, and honestly, building in Megabricks just feels really clunky. But since I've made a little bit of a somewhat robust add-on, I build everything natively in Blender now. Just everything, because it's faster. So, yeah. Literally everything, I would say. I don't even know the last thing I didn't build in Blender. Because I did it once. I did it once before I built the add-on, just to see how it would work. And it was pretty fine. So I just kept doing it in Blender, pretty much. The return of the king, no glaze. Thank you very much, Crow. Can we give some love to Crow in the chat? That's very kind of him to give 50 of his native currency. I am so ignorant to what currency that is, though. I feel like I should know where he's from, though. I want to say the Netherlands. That's my guess. That's my very, very ignorant guess. I'm very sorry if that's wrong. Could you make LDraw export for that? You know, I do think you could, because... Oh, it is Norway, isn't it? Dang it. I should have known that. Netherlands uses the euro. I didn't know that. See, I'm an American, all right? Ignorant is our middle name, and I'm very sorry about that. Could you make LDraw export for that? You know, there is actually a really good LDraw importing add-on, but it's like one step too robust, and I don't have the scripting knowledge to turn that into a thing that'll convert to other assets. So, yeah, I have no idea. What specs do you have? Unfortunately, I have an Intel chip in my computer, and it's caused a lot of problems over the years, which is wonderful. Love that. I am Team Red by now, by the way. I want it. Whenever I eventually upgrade, which I have no idea when that will be, I will be getting an AMD CPU because I hate my Intel one. But yeah, I have an Intel i9 13900K. I have a 4090. I have 64 gigabytes of some kind of RAM. I don't remember. G-Skill Trident Z Royal. I got Intel too. Yeah. You know, as long as you don't have like the super top end chip, it's actually fine. And I wish I didn't have the super top end chip, but unfortunately I do, and it's not very fun. How do the bricks align the right way? Okay, so that's a good question. There's a grid system in Blender you can actually see, and you can configure it to be at literally any size you want. So I set up keybinds to go from, we have 7 is my keybind, and it's Lego brick sized, so you can see it follows the perfect Lego brick grid. I can also, I also set the snap orientation, or rotating snap, to be 45 degrees. So by default, this is the thing. I also have the next one up, which is half brick. So it's exactly half the normal amount. Then I have 9, which is plates. You can just, that way, you know, you can go up 3 plates. And then I have what is, I think, the lowest common denominator for both, which is 1 Lego unit. So you can just, it aligns perfectly both ways, but it's a lot more granular. But yeah. But the answer for, like, I don't know, just like let me see this. If we go here. If we go to something like this, and I need this to align with, I don't know, this, for example, is just a random example. The answer is pretty much you kind of have to do it by hand because there's not really any origins. So, yeah. That's the main thing. That said, it's not that bad. Like, if you do this, and you have the Lego unit, it's fine. And that's only because this one doesn't have an origin here. You could set the origin, move it, but it's fine. I feel like it'd still be easier to do in Bricklink Studio. It really depends, because the thing is, if you do it in Studio, then you have to export it to Megabricks, and a lot of things get messed up when exporting to Megabricks. And then you have to export it from Megabricks to Blender. So building natively in Blender, I just prefer it. I'm very good at navigating in Blender. I'm pretty good at navigating in Studio, and it has some very useful features. But the thing is, 99% of what I do is in Blender, so like, I'm just so used to doing everything here, right? It's the same with like mirroring things. I don't know, I don't think you can mirror parts in Mechabricks, but you can do it in the Studio, and it works really well. But you can do it here too, and it's, yeah, it's pretty good. 9950X3D, yeah, no, Crow's, that's the CPU I want. Crow's got it. Team Red, man. AMD. Let's see, what else we got? Is it just me, or is your tongue moving with your talking animation? You mean my guy in the lower corner? I don't think he should be. I only made it 3 frames. Let's see. Have you solved snapping to studs within Blender? Yeah, well, it's the same thing. Just as long as it's on the grid system, right? So, pretty much. You can snap this. You can go up 3 levels and it's there. You can go to the 1 brick over. You can rotate my add-on global, so do that. Align it. It's pretty good. It's not bad. Pretty convenient. Ever since, oh, my screen's getting red. This is just a funny little thing. I got a random add-on. This is just the default, just for the record. This is the default Blender camera rig. This comes with Blender. You can turn it on in your add-on settings. Just convenient. My screen's getting red. I found Andrew Price posted about a random Blender add-on where if you don't save for too long enough, then your screen gets red, so it reminds you to save. Getting the NZXT H6 Flow this week. That is actually sick. My dad, I just recommend my dad, he's building a new, well, me and him built a computer, meaning I did mostly all the work, but no offense, that's fine. I just got him an NZXT H9 Flow because that's my favorite case ever. It's so good. When I built my first computer, I had an H9 Flow. And I put 9 intake fans on it, and that thing never overheated, I'll tell you what. So it's pretty sweet. Did you use the studio models or Mechabricks models for the library? I did use the Mechabricks models, and I did redo all of them. I use a laptop. Hey, you know what? I animate on a laptop a lot of the time, and it's a very nice laptop that I got secondhand. And for the record, if you ever buy a laptop, buy a secondhand laptop, because honestly, they're usually fine, and I mean, do your research still, but can you say happy birthday to my brother? What's your brother's name? And then I will, gladly. How do you beat the algorithm? In a fist fight and a sword fight to the death. And then I killed it. Jacob, hey, you know what? Happy birthday, Jacob. I am so glad that you were born on this day. And I'm so glad that you're not gone yet or something. Don't show him that part. Happy birthday, Jacob. Super mad love. Great time. I'm glad you're here, and I bet all your friends are too. Much love, man. Drop the name of the add-on to remember to save. I believe it's called literally UR Autosave. I believe that's what it's called. A pretty big issue I've come across with LEGO 3D animation is how so many of the tutorials are from like 3 years ago, so they always use older versions of Blender, and it usually gets confusing. A lot of the stuff doesn't change, though. A lot of the fundamentals don't change. So where things are can change, but honestly, you can do that yourself. How do you animate it? I don't know how to answer that question. The answer is I storyboarded it, and then I made a bunch of key poses, and then I animated between the key poses. That would be my answer. Yeah. Anyway. Good times. Yeah. No, button placement, I think that's fair. Honestly, some people just have a completely random layout to their Blender, so tutorials of where things are isn't always that useful. I actually came across this channel midway through the hiatus and really enjoyed going back and watching all of the videos, and a huge inspiration to attempt learning 3D animation. Not LEGO, though, yet. Hey, you know what? Thank you very much, and I do think LEGO is a great foundation, but it's smarter to just generalize first. Yeah. I don't have any specific advice for learning Blender, or at least I do, but I don't really need to get into it. For the most part, I would just say, yeah, it's good. It's a good time to learn Blender. It's always a good time to learn Blender. I think I might have missed some questions if I went back up. Maybe not. Let's see. The transition in the video, if you mean the one right at the start, I don't know. I still don't know. I don't know what it would be. How do I make a character like yours for my streams? It's a program. It's a PNG tuber, but it's a specific branch of PNG tuber. I think it's called VideoTube Mini, I want to say. Let me see if I got that right. Yeah. VideoTube Mini is this one. You can find it on itch.io. It's free. I basically uploaded 4 images, 4 frames. I actually got a dip, even though I just joined. Have a good stream. Have a great rest of your day. So yeah, there are 4 frames. There's one eyes open, mouth open, eyes open, mouth closed, eyes closed, eyes closed, mouth open. That's it. And it does everything else itself. And you can customize it a bunch, but I didn't bother because I just wanted something that worked. I'm talking a lot. I don't even have water next to me. Yeah, good vibes. But yeah, so as far as building something in Blender, it's not too complicated so much. And the truth is, the less programs I have to use to make stuff, the better. Do you use Mechaface or a custom rig? Also a good question. It's a very customized version of Mechaface. It's still technically Mechaface, like I've never changed it, but I've added so many features. Like for example, this live preview. I hated having to go for the get water. It's in my room. It's just across my room. Hold on, one sec. Don't listen, everybody. Don't listen. Just grabbing water. I'm over here. Oh yeah, that hit the spot, man. I needed some water. That was good. Noisy chair. There you go. You influenced me enough and I got water. And I'm grateful you told me to get water. I can full screen. Well, that kind of... whatever. You can see this better. Yeah. It's technically Mechaface, but it's added a lot of features. It's customized. For the record, I never checked the server, like, at all. But I think I've vaguely heard something, or maybe someone messaged me at some point. People asking if I have access to Mechaface 2, which is some update I think Citrine's going to do eventually. No, I don't. I don't really know how that rumor got started, but I thought it was pretty funny, so I don't know. But no, for the record, I don't. And honestly, even when it comes out, I probably won't use it because this is so custom at this point. Well, maybe I will. I'll just have to re-add a bunch of features if I do. It depends on what it adds, I guess. But yeah, technically this is still Epic Fig Rig, just heavily upgraded, and it's the same with Mechaface. It's the same, but, is it even real? Is what real? Oh, Mechaface 2? I don't know. I've never seen it, if that's what you're asking. Mechaface's default faces have always bugged me, not gonna lie. They're kind of ugly. I do not use those. What server? If you're a LEGO animator, the LEGO Blender Bricks server might be for you. It just wasn't for me. But to each his own. What's different about your upgraded Fig Rig? That's a good question. I don't know, actually, about like what figures or what features this has that the default one doesn't. I haven't used the default one in so long. I have a torso move only bone. That's cool. It is a thing, yeah. I would highly recommend if you're getting into LEGO Blender animation. There's lots of resources in there. And honestly, I'm sure many of the people in the chat would be super welcome to guide you over there. I'll even post an invite for you because I don't think anyone else can do that. LEGO Blender. Am I typing? I'm not typing. Bricks server. Blender Bricks. Let me not accidentally... Oh, here we go. Not accidentally join, but there you go. There's an invite. I'm pretty sure that's a permalink, so you should be good. Anyway, as I was saying, so I basically added a torso move bone because I wanted, so you can move it any which way, you can rotate it any which way. I also added, this was already here, this sort of like rocking bone, but I added one that works for the torso just because I wanted that control as well. It's just convenient. It works all axis. Then I added the same thing for the head because it's convenient. And then also it just has a bunch of like proportions. So like if I need to do what is it? Yeah. If I need to do long arms, that's in there. If I need to do long legs, I'm pretty sure that's in there too. Is this, yeah. And that's all tracked and automatically changing for like, oh, maybe I haven't updated this in a bit then. Oh, no, that's just because of this. It all, you can still use inverse kinematics and it still works. Oh, also inverse kinematics are actually different as well because I need more water. Hold on. I'm going to try to speak up a bit. I feel like I'm just kind of whispering. Inverse kinematics are also slightly different in this just because... Where's the thing? Here we go. Just because I didn't like the way that when you'd plant the arm or the hand on something, since that's how this works, there was no good way without just rotating the hand bone to control the hand. So I have a second IK like tracker for the hand that'll pivot. Why he's so tall? He lanky and he tall and he happy. So nothing wrong with being tall. I'm tall. I'm pretty tall. Did you use the default mecha brick size or did you scale? Did you mean for what I was just doing or do you mean in general? Hey, you know what? I will out myself. This is something that makes my rig and my systems design and everything I do a little bit incompatible with literally anything else that anyone else ever does. And I'm okay with that. And that's because if I were to... What's a good way? Okay, here. How about this? 2x2 brick. Probably the most classic brick in Lego. This little thing. This is what mine looks like. And this is what yours looks like. That's the difference in Mechabrick's default scaling and my scale. That's the difference. And it bugged me for a long time about Mechabricks. I don't know why, but Mechabricks uses like 1,000 times bigger than Lego. And I am of the opinion that when you're making anything in VFX, you should be doing it in real scale from the start. Real life scale, just because everything's measured. So, yeah. This is the actual size of a Lego brick. And that was important to me because A, light behaves differently. Well, that's not technically true because it scales, but light kind of behaves differently when you're at a different scale. And the other thing is, like, if I ever bring in an asset, like, here, I think I have an apple or something. If I ever bring in an apple, I want it to be the correct size relative to a Lego brick. Like, seriously, I do. It's just annoying otherwise, so that was the reasoning. Does the scale affect render time? No, it does not. It affects a lot of work time, though, because you have to make the scale work. I think Mechabrick's default, you can scale. There's a scale slider, and you can just do that. But if you have really custom materials, you have to, you got to do that by hand. So, there you go. But I did that. I did that a long time ago by now, though. That is not a new occurrence. And I've done multiple things like that where it's like it has to apply retroactively. Like, again, I mean, the logo was like that. Oh, that's another thing. Speaking of affecting render time, I might eventually swap to Blender 5.0. This is Blender 4.5, and I didn't swap to 5 because they changed how subsurface scattering works, and it's way slower. It's more accurate, but it's way slower to render than in 4.5. And I just didn't feel like optimizing. So I will probably swap eventually, but I don't currently use Blender 4.5. I didn't have a reason to. I'm really fighting with Blender for getting a Lego Mr. Fantastic rig, but that's really hard. I can imagine. Yeah. I would do it in a way that doesn't bend or stretch as well. And if you're not doing that, I totally respect that because I would be a masochist for doing it literally any other way. So, yeah, that's a little thing. Scaling is different, so I prefer IRL scale because anything else causes problems, I think. So that's worth doing. The only thing you have to the only thing you have to look out for is like, let me see if I have an example. Oh, there's a scene I was working on the other day, and it's not for anything. It was just for fun. Here. So yeah, the only thing you'd have to worry about in that scale is lights. So there's something called the inverse square law of light, and it has to do with the fall off of a light source. And so basically, if I were to go to this room, let me hide all lights. This should be fine. I should be able to go to rendered mode without the stream lagging. If I go to rendered mode and I add a point source right here, and by default it's 10 watts. If I go to 1 watt, This is how bright a 1 watt little bulb is. And for the record, I believe I'm exposing down. So that's what that looks like normally. And a 1 watt bulb would not light up a kitchen like that. It wouldn't do it. It would probably light it up a lot more like this, because Lego scale is about 1/42nd of human scale. So it would look like that. And so if you can easily look this kind of thing up, like how many watts is a lamp you'd put in like a living room. You can light up a room with like 15 watts. So if you divide 15 watts by 42, that's about how much light you need to light a Lego kitchen. There you go. That's simple math. You can also just use your eyes. You don't have to do math. There's actually no real reason to do math, to be honest. So there you go. Little random thing about light. Light is cool. Yeah, good vibes here. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Oh, I did want to talk a little bit about the animation I did today. Yeah, so I had thought about this. I still might do this as a full idea, but math or meth. That's a really old reference. Did you just watch the or are you just quoting the really old video that I made? That one, I think that was the teacher video. Also, I have to make a sequel to that video eventually, because I never actually talked about the teacher who was a drug dealer. That did happen. That was real. Anyway, but yeah, so I had this idea for a long time. I wanted to do the joke was it's the original Ninjago opening, but with RTX on. I think that was the joke. So I wanted to do it like updated graphics and stuff. So I animated Kai's segment for it. And thankfully I've muted the audio so we don't get claimed. I animated Kai's segment for it, and it was pretty fun. I had a lot of fun, because this is classic for me. This is the good opening. This is the Rise of the Snakes opening was the one I was using. The one with Lloyd as an adult. So this is like classic to me. And I did that. I actually recently went and made all of the ninja again in their ZX outfits, because it's my favorite generation. Zane ZX is actually the first Lego minifig I ever owned, so I had to make him, and I'm very proud to have accurately made him. That was really good. Did you make the Kai mats yourself? Yes, I did. Yeah, I didn't make the Kai textures myself though, the prints, if that's what you're asking. I got that from Mecha Bricks. So yeah, this is classic, man. Oh, I did that, but I can just have his hair. Absolutely classic, man. I love these. I saw the Kai one in your video, but yeah. It was so cool. Did you see the 15-year anniversary? I did. My brother showed them, because my brother still loves Ninjago. I love it. The only thing is I wish they had committed to making this silver armor. They didn't do that, and it's sad to me. Because like Jay and Cole, they don't look good in gold. It's not their fault, but they just don't. In fact, they gave Jay the gold like armor, or the gold arm, but the pauldrons and the thing on the mask, yeah, I just wish it was silver. That's all. Favorite Ninjago season? It will always be Rise of the Snakes. Nothing will ever beat Rise of the Snakes. So yeah. What else we got? Do you ever use reference, or do you just raw dog it while animating? Yeah, for more complex stuff, I use reference. Just because, reference is free, and you should use it. It totally makes sense. But sometimes I raw dog it. So for this more creative stuff, sometimes I just do it. If I picture it, and then you have to do more iterations, but it's usually worth it if you're making something that fits it. You mentioned having a really expensive lighting setup. Could you drop it? Media literacy is a very important thing. I'll be honest. Sometimes when I say something in a video, it's sometimes a joke. And I'll be honest, I don't have a lighting setup. That was straight up that was nothing. Yeah, there's no custom lighting setup. There are just like lighting lessons, but that's it. How did you do the Spinjitzu for Kai? Also a good question. I actually thought about this a lot. Oh, do I have the test I did? I don't think so. No, I did. Yeah, this is the test I did. So I did a lot of iterations of this. I thought about doing, what was it specifically? I thought you had like an add-on or something. No, there are a lot of lighting add-ons, and you can get some good ones. There's lots of videos on that, but no, I don't have an add-on or anything. I don't use any, so I can't recommend any. Yeah, I went through a lot of iterations on this because every time I've seen someone do it in like Lego Movie style, they brick built it, and I thought that was cool. But I really, really wanted to see. I really wanted to see what it would look like if I just did my best to recreate it faithfully. Actually, that's not the final material, so it doesn't look as good there. Yeah, so I just wanted to see what it would look like if I recreated it in a way that felt very faithful to the original. And the result was this. And frankly, I think it really turned out pretty cool. Oh, well, there's that. Can I hide this so it's not just there? Yeah. No, it's not there. Whatever. That gets rid of the sparks, but same difference. Yeah, so I committed to doing it in a way that looks kind of just like the show, but like an updated version. And as for the way it actually was made, basically it's a GeoNode setup. Let me do here. It's basically a GeoNode setup that takes this, it's like a curve, and then along that curve it extrudes that, and then along the extruded ones it takes the thing, turns that into curves, and then you render out the curves, and then you basically make a ton of random shading on them. So it's very cool. Yeah. And this was just filler because I want to do that eventually. It's really low on the priority list though. I have so many projects. Yeah. How much render time do you usually have? That's a good question. I usually render with 2 minutes per frame, which keep in mind I have a very good graphics card, so you might need more than that, but I use 2 minutes. Would you have used the new Legacy 2026 ninja suits for this if the parts were available online? Probably not. I honestly don't even actively follow Ninjago anymore. I am built for the nostalgia and the classic days, so nah. I use the old ones. Oh, I forgot to answer this earlier. How did you change Zane's hair so quick? Don't worry, there's nothing special here. I literally just had it hidden. So if I open the scene again with it hidden, if I hit Alt-H, you can see it was just hidden. That's all. I didn't rig the hair or anything yet, I don't think. Yeah, it's parented, but I didn't set anything up. Welcome, Dazdro. Good to see you. How did you get those mats? Look, man, it's just... You know, I need to come up with like a canned response for that question because I don't really have one. So, on my latest video, I've been rendering every shot with 8 to 17 minutes per frame, 4K though. Yeah, that's fair. That's a lot of time, but depending on how much you need to get rid of noise. Yeah, it's it really depends. When did I open this scene? I actually don't know. Whatever. Oh, that's another thing, I guess. I did change the mecha face just so I have live. Yeah, you can still get glitches. Like, it happens. Blender's not perfect, but for the most part it's like live previewing everything now, and that's just so much nicer than how it works by default. So definitely worth it in the long run. Yeah. Oh, and then all of the, is that there? Yeah, all of the random face lines we can do. Which forehead? Oh, give me eye bag. I can play with this forever. It's kind of my job to play with it. Good times. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. There's a lot though. There's a lot of facets to the job, but it's worth it. So cool. I love animation, you know? I do. It's a good time. I wonder if there is any behind the scenes stuff I can show that I made but haven't uploaded or anything. Is your mecha face as laggy as the original one? No. Well, so it is if you use it in the same way. Let me go back. Let me just go to the default thing. Yeah, if you use it in the same way, like if I went to material preview mode, it would be a nightmare. But no, usually when I animate a face, I do. Let me see. I think usually I bring the face out because I need to keep it because it's shrink wrapped. Then I switch to the low resolution rig, and then I can just. This is how I animate it pretty much, and it works pretty well. You can preview it in real time. I think actually I have one that I can. Yeah, this is the one I did to test it, and it should play in real time.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
This is me pressing space.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
It's running it at least.
The quick brown fox jumps over the dog.
And that was adamant because I hate lag. I have way too good of a computer for it to lag, so I was like, yeah. And again, there's no way to do it but doing it by hand and building that, but it was worth it, clearly. Yeah, so I was going over. There's a lot of random stuff in here. That was a shot I did. Lighting. Some old stuff in here as well. Like really old stuff. There's old stuff everywhere, actually. If I go back all the way down. Yeah, some of this is from the Dream SMP Lego stuff. Shout out to you if you remember that. I guess that's not someone referenced something older than that, but even still. Rebecca Parham's Treehouse is there. That was fun. I should remaster this at some point. That was such a surreal video to make. Yeah. I did that all by hand. It was really fun. This is like making this was fun. Making the environment in Lego. Oh, it was so cool. And I pulled a lot of references. Just to get all the textures of things. My favorite thing is actually this. Let me actually see. I'm gonna bring this to a new scene. I love this one because why did that happen? But yeah, I love this because in her video, in her actual treehouse, this says "Greetings from Burbank," and that's a reference to the Disney Animation Studios, which I've been to now. Actually, that's pretty cool. But I made it say Billund because Lego. So good time. Yeah, there's a lot of old stuff in here. Your shits are so detailed. Yeah, that's another advantage of building in Blender is I just keep adding things. But I mean, to be honest, like this one, this is a good one. I just remastered this so that it would run better. I cheat all my lighting now because I realized I was treating it like it was a simulation, and that was stupid. And I'm glad I don't do that anymore. So like this is a shot, or not a shot, but a scene that I made for, I think this was the water video. And it's like a cool little bedroom. I think I just used I think I used Pinterest to get some ideas for this, but I mostly built it by hand. With no reference. And it looked really good, but it rendered terribly because, you know, I was like, literally I was lighting it with real lighting, so a sun came in and it bounced, and then that was it, and that was awful. So now I just made it, instead of doing that, I just made it look nice, and it looks better that way. So technically, if you think about what's happening here in the lighting situation, there's nothing really realistic about it, but it looks nice, so who cares? Gets the point across. That's all that matters. Hey everyone, hope y'all are doing all right. I hope you're doing very well. As Ivory the Bashful. I can read. I've been talking a lot. I also didn't sleep last night, so I'm running on negative hours of sleep, so that's fun. How do you select the colors for the bricks? Do you have a library for that as well? Yeah, I have the color palette here, and this syncs to the Mecha Bricks color palette, so whatever's in my Mecha Bricks like materials list is here. But I actually redid all of them as well to be the Bricklink ones, because technically the Bricklink ones are the official Lego color palette. So I just prefer to use that. But yeah, so I can, you know, select some bricks, change to like a random color. I don't know. I can change this to be transparent if I want, I guess. That's a thing. Or chrome or whatever. Do I have chrome? Yeah. Where is it? There we So, pretty cool. I'm horrible at set building. You know, I actually really used to be. Like, I really used to be. But I really believe in you. You can definitely get better. Do I have any tips for that? Yeah, you know what? Just reference. Still reference for building stuff. Because you won't ever be able to think, okay, that plant reminds me of Planty. I'm pretty sure it is, like, Planty from the Lego movie. No, this one isn't. This is just like a potted plant. That's something I do a lot. I always think of lighting realistically, but not even movies follow that logic. Dude, yeah, no, it's actually crazy the degree to which everyone cheats in lighting. Not even, everyone cheats at every level of production in everything. Like, even half of Pixar, like, it's not realistic, and that's fine, because realism is boring. Do you ever reuse blend files if you need the same scene but different animation, or do you just duplicate the file and redo it? I bring all of, just for optimization's sake, I will like bring these assets to another file. But as for animation, that's done in a separate file. I assumed everyone did that. Here, what's an example? Well, the whole new video is done that way. So like, if I go to, I'll just pick a random shot. Yeah, the Ninjago one, because we're already looking at that. So you have one Blender file that looks like this, which has pretty much no lighting in it, no set. It's, yeah, this scene has no lights in it. Like, this is not render ready. I didn't even give this a material. This has nothing in it, but this contains the animation for Kai, or his body. I'm gonna get copyright. Unlucky. Yeah, so this contains the animation for Kai's body, and the camera, I guess. And then this file, I'm calling it. I'm not gonna get claimed, so I'm gonna have to. Well, but you know, this isn't even monetized anyway, so if they run it later, I don't care. This contains the animation for Kai's face, which admittedly it's not animated that much in the scene. He doesn't even have a mouth for this shot because he doesn't need one. But yeah, this file contains the one for his mouth, and then you have this master file that doesn't contain any animation but references it and uses it for the render. So that's how production works. Whenever I build in Minecraft, I use a reference because I can't blueprint my builds. Yeah. You know, I feel like if I went back to Minecraft now, I would have so much more fun building because of the artistic side of things, but yeah. How long does it normally take to render? Really depends on the shot. I default to 2 minutes per frame, but I go up from there depending on, like, if the scene's kind of painful to render. Though that, again, if you cheat your lighting, which you should, you can kind of minimize that a little bit. But yeah, the advantage of having everything in a separate file is just if I change something in the animation. Well, okay, that's not really an advantage if you do everything in the one file. Everything changes anyway, but if you do everything in the one file, everything's just going to get really laggy, so don't do that. Did you upscale your latest vid or render in 4K? I rendered it at 2K DCP with a 10% overscan, and then upscaled to 4K, yes. Because there's no reason to render in native 4K, at least if you ask me. And honestly, that video has been in production for not that long, I guess, but a little bit. And even in the time that it's been in production, my standards have changed a little bit, so it would look even better if I did it now. So the next video will look even better, ideally. I have to cough. Excuse me while I mute. I like when I mute, you can still see my figure bobbing. That's funny. To me. How do you find your render sample size that works without having to re-render 2 billion times? I mean, you kind of just have to re-render 2 billion times. Look, the truth is, for a lot of this stuff, there's not really a shortcut. you can kind of get used to what works. You can also set like a noise sample that works, or like, what is it called? The noise threshold. You can set one that whatever you're looking for, but for the most part, it's better to just tweak it and re-render the same one frame so that you know when you walk away and render the whole thing overnight that it'll look good. It's just worth doing. I'm trying to think if there's any other behind-the-scenes stuff. Not really in that file. There won't be. There are unreleased things that I've yet to show, I guess. There's actually a lot of unreleased things. I don't have a lot of time right now. Right now in this moment I do for this stream. I have whatever time. The noise threshold always makes my denoising look weird. Yeah, it does that because it's worse at detecting patterns when it has the weird one. There's not really a solution to that, to be honest. That's just a flaw in denoising right now. I know you said the SSS in the first movie made everything look a little waxy, which is totally true. I've never thought of that before, but I feel the first movie looks more realistic. I think a lot of people do think that. I personally disagree. I think the one that looks the most realistic is the Ninjago movie. And I think the one that looks the best is actually the Lego Movie 2, which is not necessarily so realistic, but it looks very pretty. I like the look of it a lot. I do see where you're coming from, though. I think one looks very good, but I notice enough to see more details that trigger it for me. Random question in general: what got you into doing this? I always bring this up because it is pretty cool. I loved animation as a kid. I'm not going to talk Lego because I did talk that earlier. You can rewind. But what got me into animation as a whole was I used to love Pixar movies as a kid. I feel like everyone did. I loved Cars, and I loved Monsters, Inc., and I loved The Incredibles. But I didn't start getting into animation from me until I realized it was something like anyone could do or like random people could do. So the first time I saw that, look at my YouTube recommendeds for a second. What do I have? I have an ad. I have an Emerichu video that she uploaded today. Wait, I didn't know that. That's sick. I have Distractable, a Pixar animation thing, Overwatch animator, Caleb Hiles, the best singer I've ever heard. He's amazing. Animator, kinda. Yeah. Overwatch, animator, Caleb Hiles, animator. That's what I think. Do I like Pokemon? I gotta be honest, I really don't. But it's an older sibling thing. My younger brother loves Pokemon, so he talks about it all the time, and I personally don't get it, but you can be into whatever you want. But if you really, really like Pokemon and don't like hearing from people who don't like Pokemon, you're not gonna want to watch my next video, like, at all. Just forewarning. So, The Amazing Digital Circus, yeah, this is just a random glitch thing. Whatever's their most recent short. I didn't watch it, but yeah, we love The Amazing Digital Circus. Oh yeah, I got sidetracked. Anyway, what got me into animation specifically was a guy by the name of Blue Monkey. If you've been on the internet for forever, you might know this guy. He did Minecraft animations way back in the day. I think he still maybe does. 3 years, so no. But yeah, Minecraft animations way back in the day. And I'm gonna get an ad, but that's fine. I don't have YouTube Premium right now. So yeah. This is what got me into animation, like realizing that people could just do this, It's really cool. It's a fun little animation. This and another one, there's another animator by the name of Lixian. If you watch a lot of Markiplier, you probably know Lixian. But he's a great animator. He's hilarious. He's a great editor. He's a great game designer. He's just a great artist. And he's still Mark's editor to this day. But yeah, watching his original, like, if y'all haven't seen Where's the Blacksmith, dude, you're missing out. What an absolute classic video.
I'm just the key maniac. I'm just stomping
it's
through the woods.
So good.
Where's the blacksmith? Why does he want to know where the blacksmith is?
This right here. This is what got me into animation. This video. That's my answer.
Make him go away. My name is Markiplier.
I'm not just gonna. I don't want to steal content again. So yeah, Which Lego movie do you think had the best overall animation? I think it was the Lego Ninjago movie, which is funny. It has such a really weird, convoluted, and also simple story. I don't really care about the story, but the animation of that movie is so good. Like, for a movie that had like a nightmarish production, it looks stunning. May I know how that pipeline thing works? What pipeline thing? You're going to have to remind me. Sorry. Who didn't love Cars? Apparently it's not one of the best Pixar movies, which I find crazy. So no, that's the thing, right? Is like there are other Pixar movies that are more profound. The best Pixar movies probably Ratatouille or WALL-E or Up. And those 3 movies came out in a row. One of those 3 is probably the best one. But none of those 3 are my favorite. I mean, I love Ratatouille and I'll watch that movie whenever. But my favorite Pixar movie will probably always be Cars. So, let's see. Honestly, not liking Pokemon is fine. People go nuts when I tell people I never got into Harry Potter. To each his own. I like Harry Potter, but it's hard to like Harry Potter these days, unfortunately. That's my take. Did I turn myself into a minifigure? I have no comment as to whether or not my skin is made of plastic. No comment. Does your family watch your videos? Yes, they do. They do. They probably don't watch my live streams. Or, I mean, they did before. They might not be right now. Who knows? Who's my favorite animator? I gotta say, it really changes depending on the time. But I think right now, it's Illymation. Honestly, of all the animators that currently animate, her content is always so goddamn, engaging and emotional. So good. Yeah. Good vibes. Can I see your real look? Like my face? My face is on screen right now. You can see it. Hooray, Zach is back. I'm glad to be back. It's a good time. Does your family... Oh, I did watch that. Did you turn yourself? Blah, blah, blah. As far as I know, the pipeline help you rendering, right? Yeah, well, so the pipeline is actually just specifically rather unspecifically, anything from the beginning of a shot to the end of it being rendered. So it's the whole system. Honestly, that's a really complicated thing. And I would still just say, do whatever works best for you. Because it really, really depends. Who's your favorite Lego animator? There's no answer I can give to that question that will be satisfying to anyone. So I won't give one. Or do I have an answer I can give that's universally true? You know what I do? My boy Calvin. Calvin's the best Lego animator. He got me into it in the current form that it is. So it's Calvin. I'll say that with 100% certainty. I feel like that's a very diplomatic answer, but it's also my truth. It is my truth, and I will speak my truth. Good vibes, good vibes, good vibes. As far as any other behind-the-scenes things, I don't know. How are we doing on time? It's not even noon yet, so we're kind of chilling. You know, since I uploaded today, I'm probably gonna take the rest of today off, and I'm gonna take it tomorrow off. But on Tuesday, I'm just gonna get back to animating. I actually have I might not be able to take tomorrow off. I have something I do pretty soon, so I have to do that. To be honest, so I'll have that. Who is Calvin? The GOAT, Calvin Brown animation. Real ones, no. Like a Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. You know, I'm not gonna steal content. So I'll show you 10 seconds of this video. Knew him. Okay, good. Yeah, good. Because I don't want to. I want you to see your real face, not your minifigure. As far as you know, this is my real face. Maybe this is what I look like in real life. And why does your minifigure was turned you into self into a monster? Are you a monster to not show your face? Sorry, I got lost in the grammar, or lack thereof, of that sentence. The first time I found a 3D Lego animator was Calvin, and I thought it was so cool. I watched the Spider-Man video. Seriously. That one video, man. That's what got me. Yeah, this is my real face. This is literally what I look like. Yeah. Oh, clearly I need to save again. There you go. Anyway. It's still a good add-on. Would recommend. Do I have anything else I need to, or like random other things that might be cool? Is there anything else I can show about this, I wonder? I don't know. I kind of showed all the features before. Other than materials, I guess, but honestly, if I showed you, quote unquote, my materials, we would be here forever. There's no one thing I can show that gives an answer to that. But this is what it looks like, just on its own in an empty rendered scene. And frankly, it's the same as anyone else's in that if you have good lighting, it can look pretty good, and if you have bad lighting, it will look really bad. So, still have more water. I need to do that. Great topology. That's what you think. The topology on the arms. I need to redo the arms eventually. It really sucks. If I zoom way in here, you can see how uneven this is. Look at that. This is awful. The topology is terrible. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these aren't... I think I made custom models at one point, and then I think I lost them at some point. So I think these might be the Mecha Fig arms, and they've just been modified. I don't know. But I'll make custom arms again eventually. It's actually not that hard. I just have to do it again. Yeah, I love the HDR. Yeah, I'm in... Since Blender 5.0 came out and they added aces, I just retroactively added aces to the prior one. But it is worth it. Like, Aces just looks so good in any context. This is also not the most up-to-date. If I swap to Aces 2, I think this looks worse. So for this preview, I was using an outdated one. Let's see. Will you see me again? No, unfortunately. You won't. Everyone else might. You won't. Do you stay hydrated? Hell yeah, I do. Haven't you watched my video on water? I noticed your older animations have solid colors and outlines. I imagine it was meant to look like the instruction booklets and or the Ninjago movie credits. Yeah, it was specifically... I use Aces 2.0 for 99% of things. It's just in monochrome scenes. It looks better in 1.3. Like, just for previewing. Yeah, no, it's literally... You cannot say I swear word. I could. Frick. There you go. Go ahead. Someone clip that. That's there forever. I think I swore before, and I did one other live stream. Pretty sure I swore at some point. It went on for hours. I must have sworn at some point. I'm not perfect. I swear sometimes. I say bad words. I promise, guys. I can swear. I can do it. I'm just not gonna. Anyway. But yeah, no, so there's a lot of that. There's a lot of any way to try and... You said in my older animations. In literally today's animations, I did that. I did the... I actually have the shot, I think. Where is it? No, that's the renders. Yeah, right here. This was in today's video. I still do instruction style for videos. Just because... I don't know. It's just, people get kind of tuned out seeing the same style over and over. And variety is the spice of life. Also, it's cheaper. Like it just is. What is with Lego OG me? Is he good or overrated? If you're talking about my boy Preston, come on, man. Gotta respect, though. Gotta respect the goat. We don't diss the goat here. We don't do it. Please, 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 please show your face. I beg you. I beg you to show your face. Please. No, I won't do that. How did I do that shader? What? So, do you mean the outline? That's just a grease pencil. Just a grease pencil outline. Yeah. It's really easy. Just look up how to do grease pencil line art. You can do it. It's not that bad. Pretty easy. Do I have the other one here too as well? Yeah. I think that's what this is. Is it? Yeah. This is the one with the actual normal one. Oh. I think I broke this at some point, but whatever. The one that is only camera? Yeah. Because there's no reason. There's literally no reason to do anything else. It's so convenient. It works. Please, can I see your face once? All right. You know what? For you, I will. What's a way I can do this? I know. Just for you. All right. I'm going to take it onto the second monitor. Actually, I think it's going to open on this monitor anyway. Whatever. There you go. That's what I look like. But don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Anyway, I don't know. Handsome, hey, you know, I have no comment on that. Your minifig looks a lot like your real life self. I tried to model him. I meant your live action self. You know, that's funny. I don't know if you're doing a bit. To be honest, I don't really care. But there is some deep lore to my videos that, like, in universe, Zakharoff, the character, is making the video rather than, like, he's not animating it. He's filming it. I'm just an animator out here in the real world. So if you think about it, the guy you see in the videos, that is kind of actually what he looks like, if you think about it. Or, more specifically, if you really, really, really don't think about it. Honestly, you should add lens dirt to the thumbnails. I like readability in my thumbnails. I like them to be very clean. I do add a lot of extra roughness, though. I like that part. How other animation? Yeah, the animation test, there's not really anything. Like, that's just for things. Ooh, I made this, though. This is not really behind the scenes so much as it is just a fun thing that I did. I watched a slow-mo guy's video, and they lit... Oh, that's not even it, I don't think. I actually don't know where it would be. They were lighting something. I think they were lighting chrome, and they made this... Yeah, this is it. And they made this really, really cool background with these. So I went and got these. These are like CAD models for LED lights that I found in a special like color. And I made this little render setup, and it just looks really cool. I should turn this into an HDR at some point, because the lighting, it's just very pretty rainbow lighting. I think that's actually the rock one. Yeah, it's just really, really pretty lighting. So I really enjoyed that. I thought it looked really cool. And I don't really have a use for something like this, but it looks cool. Hello again. Hello, Starface711. Well, I just saw a lot of people in real life. It was live action. Duck Bricks was live action himself saving, as a lot of YouTubers actually has live action YouTubers. Can I see your live action face? If you type a sentence that's that same amount of words, but with perfect grammar, I'll do it. Metahuman Zakharoff is what he's asking for. Hey, maybe. What kind of movements or things to practice in animations rather than runs or walks? You know, that's actually a really good question. If you want to... So it depends, right? If you're doing something like body mechanics is a very specific thing. Body mechanics is a lot of what you need to learn to be an animator. It's getting used to weight and physics and momentum. If you, like me, watch a lot of parkour videos, get some like reference of someone doing parkour in like one long clip, start to finish. That's great practice. That's great. I'm gonna show you guys something. It's a little secret, but you guys won't tell. I trust. I don't actually remember where it would be. I think it'd be here. Yeah. So don't tell anyone. No one tell anyone. So for the record, I did not use reference with this, but because I've animated off of reference for so long, I know how something like this works. So this is just a very simple animation of a character jumping off a building in a pretty good run cycle, actually. I really liked this. I like this run cycle. And then doing a roll on this ground over here. Yeah, it's pretty simple. I animated this pretty quickly. I think the whole thing took like an hour, maybe less. Once you get it, it's not that bad, and this is just good practice. It's also, okay, this is like super secretive. So I need everyone here to actually swear that they're not going to talk about this, because this is, make a Lego parkour vid. Okay, so there's something else, and I won't say what it is. I might tell you, Crow, later. I might tell you specifically, but this is pretty secretive, so no one talk about this. Oh, hey, it's me again. See, look, it's my face. Like, what are you on about? I had an idea for a project, and I will do this eventually. I want to do a sort of ARG, kind of. If you know what that is, I'm not going to explain it. So if you know what that is, that's cool. And the idea was there's like this, by all accounts, it's like a vlogging channel that does parkour, but it's fully animated. So I had an idea for what that might look like, and so this was that. Yeah, I'm not gonna full screen it. This is what it looked like. This was my idea, and this is very, very much a very rough test, but it looks really cool. So. So I will, this is an idea. It's for way later. I'm not going to go into it. This is like years down the line. All right, hold on. I'm just going to do something real quick. How did I do it? Cool. I timed out that guy. I don't know why he keeps going in on the same thing, but whatever. I wanted to ban him, but I actually don't know how to do that. So, whatever. Anyway, that's all you guys get. That's a secret little test. That's way down the line, but I have a really cool idea for that. Actually, the only other thing I'll show you on that, I will full screen for this, is this background. It's San Francisco. It's my favorite. I love San Francisco. Anyway, that's all you get. Secrets. The guy asking for the face? Yeah. I actually don't know what he was on about. But whatever. To be honest, I don't really care, but I'm not going to show him. I'll show my face when I'm ready. It's not important, guys. Doesn't matter what I look like. Anyway. Did you know Spidey's channel is an ARG too? I didn't know that. Yeah, ARGs are so cool. I love like meta storytelling. Yo, what is up? The real JBF or JB Films. I messed that up. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a sort of secret project. That was what that role was from. I have other ones. I did show some of this, so I'll show it here. This is another upcoming passion project that I will do eventually, but honestly, it just comes down to when I have the time. But this is from the Wicked video that I want to do. Yeah, this is fine. Oh, gosh. This is the first scene I built natively in Blender, by the way. This is the very first one. And this is the one where I decided... it's actually interesting, because this was a lot of math. It's a lot of architecture, right? And a lot of architecture is a lot of math. So when I built this... I did so with math. Is this still parented? No, this was at one point, I think. Or maybe it's these. I don't remember. No. But yeah, I did this with math, and I was like, you can't, like, let's be honest, guys. You can't just build something like this in Megabricks. You can't even really do it in Studio. It would be awful. So I didn't do that. I built this in Blender. Is the broom there? I don't think I added it yet. I have to make that prop. I haven't made it yet. Yeah, I showed this briefly before. And yeah, it would have been painful. You know, here's something. I do have a lot of, I've built some things for this. And these are all things that are going to be impressive. I just read chat while I was saying. These are all things that are going to be cool that'll be in this. Because this, if you haven't seen Wicked, this is like a warehouse to store a bunch of random crap, basically. Oops, I did a swear? Question mark? I don't think crap is really a swear. But anyway. Yeah, so I wanted to hide like a bunch of Easter eggs in here, and I will do that. And there's a lot of cool stuff coming in that regard. Clipped. Oh, man. Got the receipts. Unlucky. But yeah, so this is like mathematically perfect. Can I do this? No. Well, yes, kind of. And so yeah, it needed to be pretty much perfect. So that's why I did it this way, because there's just no good reason to do anything else. Do you mind Lego bricks clipping? I don't mind as long as people can't tell, right? So the floor here, technically this doesn't make any sense. Lego bricks don't do this. And just because of the angle, there's no like angled tile for this. There's a 45 and this is not a 45. Well, it is, but it's offset, so it wouldn't work. So I don't really care so long. Hello, Flynn. I don't really care as long as it looks good, and it looked good, so I committed to it. And plus, like, the whole thing, like it really does just look mathematically perfect. And if there's one thing I can say about myself, it's that I love math. Like, I really do. Let me see. If I log onto this, dude, look at that. It looks so good. It's almost mesmerizing. Anyway, call it a new mold. Yeah, new mold, guys. New mold. Crazy. Yeah, that was fun. Anyway, I haven't done a ton of work for this video. I wrote it already. I haven't recorded it because I'm gonna sing, for the record. I'm gonna sing, and obviously it's quite a thing to sing. So I need to work my way up to that. But the only other stuff I've done for that is creating a bunch of random crap to throw into the warehouse. I created the golden weapons just because I needed. This was just a funny random thing I could put in, and I like this. I liked how they turned out, so that's cool. That's all you get, super fast. But this is also. Do you use scripts for your videos? Yeah, every single video is scripted, and in fact, the last two videos technically were not perfectly scripted. They were recorded without a script, and then I transcribed it, and then I turned that into a script. But yeah, I need more Zach Roth singing after the Has Been Hotel ones. It will happen. I love singing. I do, and I sing a lot of Has Been Hotel songs just in my free time, so it will happen. Oh, dude, some of the music in season 2, gosh, Gravity is so freaking good. Anyway. Yeah, so there's just a bunch of random stuff that I built here. These guys. Dude, I freaking love these guys. This is like classic, man. They're so good. I love these. So fun. Did you enjoy Wicked 2? Okay. So before I watched either of them, I had no idea what I was going into. I like musicals, and I had a lot of theater friends. Yo, Preston's in here. Bro probably finally got off school, to be honest. But what's up? Let's go. Yeah, so I didn't know what I was going into either way. Wicked 1 is just so freaking good. It was unbelievable. Wicked 1 just it inspired me. Literally, in that scene at the end of Wicked 1, I was like, okay, that's perfect. Just cut to black. And it cut to black. And I was like, dude, that's cinema. That's so good. So Wicked 2, I didn't know what I was getting into. I think Wicked 2, it had a lot of really cool things. It's definitely not as good as 1, but I still enjoyed it. That's what I'll say. I'm so glad you're back, man. Dude, you know, it's good to be back. Heck yeah. Yeah. So, pretty cool. Also this, another classic, if you know this one. I love he had to double check. 17-year-old. Nice. Yeah. Oh, it's so cool though. Yeah, I do want to do more Wicked. Or do more Wicked. I want to do the one video. I want to do the one Wicked video. I really do. And it's still coming. Oh, I don't know if I showed these. I did. So it's gender bent, right? Because I'm singing. And another person is singing, but I won't say their name. So I made like gender bend designs for them. And they were actually really cool. They turned out pretty well. So this is like a male alphaba look. Did I do... I don't actually know if I did the hat yet. Oh, I did. Should be this. Nope. So it's this. Oh, which one is it? I need them to be separate. Nah. Whatever. So yeah, male alphaba. Oh, unless it's just that. Oh. Well, whatever. Male alphabet. And then male Glinda was a little harder because I wanted them to be like a femboy almost. I wanted because they needed, or not, maybe not a femboy, but specifically a pretty boy. That was the idea behind this version of like a male alphabet or male Glinda. And I think I really captured it. He looks so handsome, you know? He really does. Works really well. Why is everyone popping in? Because the East Coast just got off school, I believe would be the reason. I'm not calling Preston out, though. I'm not. My dream Lego set is a fire station and a police station. You know, Lego City is actually goated. Lego City is the best Lego theme. Don't act me. Not taking questions. It's just the truth. Can you do me a favor, Zach? It really, really depends what it is. It's Sunday, Zach. Look, hey, some people go to Sunday school. Some people. I don't go to school at all, but some people. Anyway, that was fun. Yeah, I've done very little for that. I've also showed this off a little. If you know, you know. Oh, the most up-to-date version of this. Do I have... It might not even be in here. It is. Because I did update with the Fortnite hairs eventually. Actually, this isn't even my favorite. My favorite is the Zoe one, so I may as well do that. So this is another upcoming project. This will be done eventually, but again, I have so little time. Like, this is literally just as I can do them. So yeah, I am doing a K-pop Demon Hunters animation eventually, but it's a matter of when I can get it done, and I'm not committing to anything, but it will get done. But it looks cool. I really like how the character rigs turned out. The torsos and stuff, they're really detailed. But I specifically, because I knew Lego, like, let's be real, everyone knew Lego was going to do this eventually. And I think they did. I think they recently confirmed they're doing Lego stuff for this movie. And so I didn't want to bother making them like really Lego styled. I wanted them to be really detailed because like the Jaka Brick figures, man. I don't have access to all of them, but I have access to the ones that I've animated with, right? And like this Deadpool one was given to me, so I could do that. What is it? The commission where he fights Wolverine, and like the detail looks so good. Like it looks really, really good. So I was like, it's just worth it. It's worth keeping that in, you know? Do I skip college tomorrow to animate, or do I just go in and not do my work so I can animate? I will not be a bad influence. I will not. I refuse. And I think you're British, and British people love the idea of university. People really like that, so. School's important. Stay in school. But yeah, so I personally just like the detailed look. Whenever I do ones that are like meant to be like a lot of them are supposed to be Lego accurate, and that's fine. But yeah, I figured everyone else was gonna do a Lego accurate version. Oh, speaking of has been, someone mentioned it earlier. This is in the most recent video, the one that went up today. This was my best version of making Vivian Medrano, the creator of Has Been Hotel, and Lego, because I just wanted to see if I could do it. It's based off like her general iconic design, so that was fun. Creating real people in Lego is actually, it's quite a challenge, but it's worth it. It's cool. It's a good exercise. And specifically, I did get to meet her, and that was the freaking coolest thing ever. That was so cool. How do you handle your lifestyle of school and your animation skills as a high schooler? I hope you're asking someone else in chat, because I'm not in school. That would be my answer. That's not on Mecha Brick. That's not even a real hair. That's a Mecha Brick. That's a Jaka Brick hair that I got from them, which I use sometimes. There's another one, actually. This was in today's video, I think. Where is it? I think it's... No. That's also from today's video, but that's not... Oh, it's in here. It's in my rigs. This one. Yeah, so this was also in today's video. This is also a Jaka Brick hair. I forgot this one doesn't have the glasses. The one in the video has glasses. But this is a lot closer to what I look like in real life right now. Except for the outfit. Ignore this stuff. This is kind of what I look like in real life now. But I wear glasses. Does Jaka Brick send you everything? I'm so confused. No, if I do a collab for them, or like a commission for them, then they'll send me the assets for that thing. However, they like me, so sometimes I'll ask, and they'll give them to me. Yeah. But I try to ask sparingly, because, yeah. Yeah, you're right. This is what I should have showed that guy earlier that was asking about my face. This would have been the good idea. Oh, you know what I just remembered? I used to put on, like... Hold on. I used to put on, like, ambient background music, didn't I? I've only streamed one other time, I think, but I used to do that. Where you get the Jaka Brick hairs, they send them to me. And I'm definitely not allowed to send those to anyone, so sorry about that. You like my voice? Dude, my voice is strained right now. I've been up for so long. I do have water, though. So. But thank you very much.
I've been working on my voice a lot.
We're actually here. I'm gonna turn the gain way up, but talk real quiet.
I've been working on my voice a lot.
How's that? I hope that wasn't awful. I have no idea how that sounds. Anyway, that is water. I drank Monster at the time of making that water video. You know, I wonder how many people actually know about that. Let me go to, can I do this? Yeah. I wonder how many people noticed that in the water video. Oh, good. This guy's streaming right now. Wait, let's go see what he's doing. Yo. People noticed that in the water.
Is real?
Oh, good. This guy's streaming right now. Wait, let's go see what he's doing. Yo. I feel like such a like a voyeur. Oh, good. Like I'm watching someone, you know? Wait, let's go see what he's doing. Yo. I feel like such a like a voyeur. Like I'm watching someone, you know? I'm not. Markiplier did that bit. I'm not doing it. Anyway, I don't know how many people... But first, an ad from Nissan. I don't know how many people noticed that. But yeah, the list is the most replayed. I say here, water isn't the only thing I drink.
Drown your enemies. To be perfectly frank, water isn't...
And I don't know how many people noticed the giant pile of Monster Energy in the back. Like, the giant pile. It wasn't even the sugar-free ones. I drank the white can when I drank it. I did not drink the black can. I drank the black can once, and it just, whatever. But I don't drink caffeine anymore because it was giving me anxiety, so I just stopped. Dude, I had the only can of Black Monster I ever had was at Disneyland on, did you get an ad from your own video? Yeah, that happens. Welcome to YouTube. Yeah, the only time I was at grad night, I was at Disneyland at grad night, and I drank a can of black can Monster, and it gave me so much anxiety, and then I was just done. I was done. So I don't drink any caffeine, and in fact, my favorite beverage that isn't milk is, or not milk. Sorry, don't clip that. That's not true. That's slander. My favorite beverage that isn't water is decaf cold brew black coffee. And when I tell people that, they ask me why I even drink coffee. Because I'm not getting the caffeine, and I'm not getting the sugar. So it just confuses people. What camera resolution do you use? The exact resolution of the frame that I use now is 2253 by 944. Then I downscale that to 2048 by 858 so that if I add in lens distortion, there's no loss of resolution. And then I upscale that to 4096 by 1716. Make you money with your animation, or make freelancer jobs, or just a hobby? I'm on the partner program in YouTube, so I make a little bit of money from YouTube, but it's not sustainable, I'll tell you that. So I do freelance jobs when I need money, which does happen. I do need money sometimes. What Blender version do you use? I sticked with 3.6 because I forgot so often to upgrade my Megabricks light file. That's totally fine. I use Blender 4.5 currently. Can you give me money? Sorry, man. I don't have any money. You're asking the wrong person, man. It ain't me. Anyway, that was pretty cool. Cool tangent. Also that. Yeah, I don't know when it happened, but I actually lost the ability to can I give you a hug? I like our friendship the way it is, which is non-existent. So I'm going to pass on that. Anyway, I lost the ability a little while back to be able to turn like parts in a minifig to other materials. So thankfully I got that back. And the first thing I made was C3PO. And I made a separate version for Chrome because I do like it better. Zach, if your name is spelled Zach, then why is your YT name Zakharoff? Because when the name is in its long form, it's Zachary with an H. And when it's short, it's Zach with a K. And you can do it differently if your name is Zach, but if your name isn't Zach, you don't really have the authority to argue how I use my name. Sorry. Also, I'm not Zach. That's not my name. That ain't my name. Most people still use an H, and that's fine. You know what the honest to God truth is that I don't care. You can spell my name however you want, because I really don't care. It's fine. But the funniest thing was I did a thing back in high school. I did a thing back in high school where I made like a fake Instagram account. It was like a meme account, right? It was a joke. But it like a few people found it that knew me, and they asked like, who is this? Or whatever. And I said, my name is Zach. And it with a K, and they were like, huh, well, it could be Zach, but he spells his name with an H. And then I eventually just outed myself. I told them it was me, and they were like, well, then why didn't you ever correct us? And I'm like, because it's not a big deal, guys. I don't care. It's fine. Just a name. Not too big a deal. Yeah. Aroth? Yeah. Call me Aroth, short for Sephiroth, or I think that's someone from something. Good point, Dead. Very good point. And the answer is you don't. You don't need to spell Zach. There's no reason to. There's no reason why. Do I have any other? No, this is all fine. I did this way back in the day. This is a good one. These are all like different files to show different stages of animation. So I think this is only keys. Only keyframes. So the only frames of animation that exist are these. And this isn't even really enough to show motion. And then if I go to keys and extremes, which is that's spline. Yeah. If I go to this one, there's a lot more motion because you've added the extra frames. So that's a good exercise. Honestly, I can't recommend it enough. If you really want to learn animation, you should read The Illusion of Life, which is the Disney book on animation. It's basically the book on animation in general. It's pretty good. Did I have such a headache? I feel like that's probably related to me being up for probably like 24 hours now. Yikes. Yeah, well, people who spell it ZAC, they're just weird, man. Zac Efron, he's not a real one. He might be a lizard person, but I have anecdotal evidence, but I don't have hard evidence. Yeah, I feel like as far as like the behind the scenes, that's pretty much all I wanted to show. I guess, and I don't think I can show Leave the Brits be. Zac Efron isn't British. What? Zac Efron isn't British, and he spells it with ZAC. No, I had already decided to stream today, and it was part of my stream. Ugh. Never mind. I give up. Never mind. There's no point. There's no hope. This is from an upcoming animation. It'll come eventually. It's a short, so I don't do a lot of shorts, but this one will. There's the baker. Do your frames have a huge jump? How do your frames have a huge jump but are so smooth? I'm not entirely sure what you mean. But unless you just mean that like the character moves a lot, but there's no motion blur, so yeah. I've done like 1 or 2 shots with motion blur, but not many. That's spoilers. Yeah. That was fun. Yeah, well, I don't know. ZAC is weird. Like, just spelling that on its own, it's strange. Look, my name is Zach, so therefore I'm basically the authority on anyone who calls themselves Zach in any configuration of those letters. It's just how it works. If your name was Zach, you'd be an authority too. But I'm willing to bet it's not. So, here's what it is. I knew many other, though. Do you play any video games, and if so, what games? What games are installed right now? Oh, that's not my desktop. Can I minimize this? Yeah. My current list of installed games are these, and there's probably no shot you can see them, so I'll just vocate them. Yo, Zip is here! What's up, Zip? How are you doing? I hope you're doing very well. Zip is a wonderful animator, and I highly recommend you check out her channel, because she's great. Yeah, my current list of installed games are Batman Arkham Knight, which is one of the best video games of all time. Sleeping Dogs, which is a really old game that I wound up having a lot of fun in. Red Faction Guerrilla, which is probably a game no one's heard of. Kingdom Come Deliverance, which I'm just getting into. Assassin's Creed Unity, which is the best Assassin's Creed game, in my opinion. Red Dead Redemption 2, shout out Crow, I know he's here. Overwatch, because it's just so goddamn fun, and it's it's actually the most fun it's ever been right now. And Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which is a very, very esoteric niche game that probably no one's ever heard of. But I love it, and that's what matters. Oh, and I have a bunch of like useless garbage on my desktop because I was editing a video today, and when I'm really lazy, I just put all the editing stuff on my desktop. Anyway, PNG Tuber, come back. Cool. I love your favorite kind of animation, if you know what I'm talking about. If it is the sort of jumpy, jittery style, yeah, I do. I love that look. Yeah, if I had to go by games I play the most, it's probably just Overwatch. I play it a lot. It's hard, but I enjoy it. I play it very little. No, that's not true. I play video games very little at this point because I just don't have that much time. PowerPoint presentation. You right, dude. This guy's a knower, man. That guy understands. Oh, that was, I was bringing this up earlier. When I was going over like detailed figures versus sticking to you should hop on Rivals. Look, the truth is I don't like Rivals that much. Well, okay, I like that it exists because it's made Overwatch a lot better, but in my opinion it just doesn't play as well as Overwatch. However, both games are very good. I just only play Overwatch. Hi Zach. Hi, prehistoric Nani. I'm calling it. It's Nani. Yeah, I was showing this earlier. Yeah, so when it comes to like having Lego detailed level of figures, well, you spelled it But I saw how it was spelled. I just had to guess a pronunciation. But I'm guessing I was right the second time. But yeah, so this is the Batfleck. Yeah, that's fair. This is the Batfleck one that I got from Jockabrick. And frankly, it's probably my favorite. Like, this isn't my materials carrying it. This is their textures carrying it. And, like, just look at this. They added, like, screen printing to it. That looks so good. And when I saw that, I literally decided, I was like, dude, detailed prints just look really good. Like, they do. It looks so good. Like, there's no level of, like, uniformity or smoothness or anything. It just looks really good. And it's very detailed, and I like that. And also, that's what that looks like under. It's the same with the Man of Steel suit. I think that's also here. Yeah, it's right here. I'll do, though, I prefer the black suit, so I'll do that. While that's loading. Can you teach a basic run cycle? If I have time, I will try. I might be able to do it. Oh, but the pressure. Everyone's watching. Yeah, let me just change the black suit. It's the same here. Like, just the level of detail, man. If I could actually... No, it's easier to see on the not black suit. Yeah, the screen printing texture... What am I hearing? My phone just started playing Distractable. For no reason. That's weird. Don't know why that happened. Anyway... Yeah, just having the textured pattern as part of the print, it looks really good. It really does. And yeah, I mean, I just like it. I think it looks great. So yeah. Okay, do I have time to do a run cycle? Well, it's not so much do I have time, it's more do I have patience. Let me try. Let me cook. I have an idea. I can delete all this. Are you team Apple or Android? I am a born and raised Android baby. I have an Android phone, and I recognize a lot of the benefits that Apple has, but I still use an Android phone. I have a Samsung phone. But I like Apple. I've had good experiences with iPhones. I just don't use them. At least for me, the first step of any run cycle or walk cycle is determining whether or not you're going to use inverse kinematics or not, because you can very easily animate a run cycle in place. And if you do that, then you can move this, right? And this will... you can move the root bone if you animate it in place, and it'll look good. That's kind of how video games do it, and you can do some math to make it look good, but yeah. The thing that bums me out is digital custom figs are digital, and you don't get to hold it in your hand. Like, a ton of the LEGO Fortnite characters don't have minifigs, and it's so disappointing. Just comes down to LEGO if they want to do it. However, the ones I was showing off there do have physical counterparts, because those are Jockabrick. Which one? I have a Samsung Galaxy S10. I haven't gotten a new phone in a while. It's an old phone. That said, I don't really have a reason to do it. Does pineapple belong on pizza? If you think it does, you can get out. What were all those folders in the corner? The bottom right? These are generic assets or mods for video games. They're very much nothing. Trust me when I say it's not interesting. Anyway. Yeah, it is an old phone. But I'm waiting to upgrade. I'm saving up. I have one in mind. Are you saying that the way of getting success with animation is math? Actually, yes. If you didn't pay attention in math class and you thought, I'll never use this, you were wrong. You were wrong. Got an S25 Ultra? Good choice. I did just see the S26s. They looked mostly nothing and garbage. Well, not garbage, just the exact same as the 25. But if you didn't see the privacy thing on the S26 Ultra, that was pretty sick. That's the coolest feature I've seen in a phone in a while. Anyway, enough glazing Samsung. Okay, but like, why no to pineapple on pizza? Because pizza shouldn't be sweet. I don't even like dessert pizza. Dessert pizza's gross. Anyway, so you need to decide if you're gonna do using IK or not. If you don't, I need to not look at chat for a sec because I'm gonna get distracted, and I'm gonna do my best to focus on this. So, if you animate it in place, you can animate this. Like if I just go, I don't know, like here, and did this, and give that linear. So we can sort of slide him around like this, and just animate him up top, and that's fine. Or you can do it with inverse kinematics so that the center of mass moves and the legs move individual to that. You can do it either way. There's advantages to both. I would venture to say that for the most part it just depends on the scene or what you're in the mood for. But for this purpose, I'm probably going to do it with inverse kinematics because that's more likely what you're going to do most of the time. So if we do this, get your first pose, right? In fact, you know what? Just for the sake of what we're doing, I'm not going to do any custom articulation. So I'm not doing his head so he looks forward like this, and I'm not going to do his, this. Like you would do, if you want a really good dynamic pose, you would do something sort of like this, right? But we're not doing that. We're just not, because there's no reason. You can get a very good run cycle that looks like this. So yeah. First is you're going to make this pose. And then, yeah. Also, you know what? Let me do this. He should be up further. Just because. And then I'm actually going to do this. So we're going to go down here, normalize. I'm going to do... This is why metronomes are also very useful if you're an animator. Just timing. And we're going to move him like there. I'm eyeballing it. I'm not perfect, but that's probably fine. Set that to linear, and then let me move the graph editor and make sure, yeah, that should be fine. So you can see here, this is just it moving in a straight line perfectly like that currently. And I think he needs to go a bit further probably, or this needs to be shorter. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to go here. Let me see how that looks. Cool. So this is sort of the speed he's going to be moving at. Easy. So now I'm going to stop this for a second and go this to constant so there's no tweening. Okay. I'm going to do my best to explain things, but I'm not a good teacher, to be honest. Anyway, I'm just going to go forward a few frames. I'm going to go forward 4 frames. And you want your next run pose, which is usually going to be the down pose. We're going key poses first. So the contact pose is like this when the foot's touching the ground, but it's not like for this stage, we don't need it. We need when the foot's pretty much flat against the ground. It's easy to assume that his torso will be up a bit, his hand will have come down a bit, and his other arm will also have come down a bit. And if you really want this is technically, well, this isn't, yeah, so this is the passing pose, not the contact pose. Contact is when it's touching. So if you really want, you can bring the leg forward. This will add more emphasis to the run, but because we're doing it simple, I'm just going to bring this in a little bit. And we'll copy and paste our frames, except for this. I should actually lock this. Yeah. Well, actually, no, this is fine. Let me actually set this to linear. I'm going to do that. I'm going to commit. There we go. And so we'll go to like here. Let me also do this. Okay. So we have this. We go from this to this. Oh, I'm not on the right one. Okay. Cool. So we go from this to this. And it's pretty simple. Like there's not a lot of... And actually, so whenever you decide is going to be his down frame, I would bring his leg to under him because that's kind of just how humans run. Oh, I haven't saved. Whatever. This can go in animation tests. It's very simple. And then we want an actual passing pose. I would go only 2 later. Actually, here. I'm going to go back 1. Move this. And we'll do this. Okay. I'm saying this a lot. I'm aware. Like, I know. Like I said, I'm just not really a good teacher. Now, for your passing pose, if you're not doing any extra articulation, it's kind of going to look like this, where the legs are both kind of in the way, and that doesn't look like he's running at all. But trust that it'll look fine. Like, that's just... It kind of just needs to look like that. We'll swap the arms, because now he's starting to go to the other side. So now, we're going to copy this one, this pose. I'll actually just get rid of that. And then we're going to paste it here, but mirrored, because obviously we don't want him to run the same way. And then we'll just, I'm going to eyeball it so that the legs offset is about the same as it was at the start. So that's probably pretty good. So now this frame is the opposite of this one. And it's very simple. I'm also going to be doing this on ones, by the way. I don't know if I said that. I don't think I did. Because it's just simpler. You can hit spline pretty early if you have very simple keyframes. And so now it's just a matter of adding any extra steps that you want. So, for example, we have this one frame where he's down at his lowest point, but we have enough space in there to do whatever we need to make the run cycle a little more detailed. I will add a bit of bob. So this is just, like naturally when you run, you go up and down. This is him at his lowest point. And that would be this channel, the Z channel. But then obviously when we're back here, he should be back at the highest point. So now he dips. And that should be consistent every time. Like, this. Because generally if you're running, this is something you have to get used to in physics, but if you're actually, objects in motion tend to stay in motion. So the idea would be, in theory anyway, let me also add a keyframe here. That's probably fine. The idea would be that if you're, think about it like this. If you leave the ground, and I can do this with a simple thing. If this cube, let me just hide everything else. If this cube was to bounce in the air, let's say we did, so it was on the ground. If this was to do an arc, right? Left to right, if the cube could jump, it would move in a perfectly straight cadence, right? Where it would move A to B like this. It would do that. But the difference would be it would also arc. So if we go to its Z location, right here in the middle, it would be at its highest point. Let's say there. And then this, we'll just do a very simple thing. In fact, actually, we'll do this. I'm going to do... And like immediately, that just looks like a very simple jump for the cube to make. And it's because once you move, it's not like a video game. If you're in midair, you can't control your motion. So the moment you leave the ground, your trajectory is set. And so because this is in motion, it moves perfectly left to right. There's no change in speed at all. But the arc is an arc. It's a parabola. Arcs are pretty easy. Anyway, that's just that. So the principle then that translates to this is that's why this perfectly moves in a straight line at the same speed. But up and down, he moves all over the place. So then it's just a matter of repeating, kind of. It's not too bad. Like once you have your key poses in there, as long as if we hide this, we can very simply go here. And then that's our thing. So if we did this... You want to duplicate these, and because it's IK, you have to move the legs, but that's not so bad. So as long as you have your key poses and it's a cycle, you're good to just repeat. You see. So then if we do this, that's 3 frames. So we go here. We are gonna come here to this one and mirror it as well because yeah. Also remember that the leg that lags behind often doesn't update between frames. So like at the lowest frame, in fact, I would actually change this about this shot. This leg doesn't need to update, right? So it's still in the position it was when this frame updates. This because it's not the one. It's lagging behind. That's the point. Until the passing pose, it doesn't come up. So here it's at the same spot it was. Then we go to our next one. And in this shot, this is our full down pose. So like there. But again, this doesn't need to update because it's lagging behind. So it looks like this. And then the legs just need to update again. And I don't... which one are we on here? I could have labeled these, actually. Let's call that spread. Call that down. Pass. And then that's the next spread. I'm just renaming the object. Hold on. Down. Okay. Down. Spread. I have no idea. I don't even have chat open right now. I'm not interacting. So I hope this is fun to watch or educational in some way. Anyway, so spread, down, pass, and then we just duplicate it, right? So this is his spread again. This is his down. This is his passing pose. So if I were to come here, copy this, and then paste the mirror of it here, we just want the legs to do the same thing that they were doing here. Where this one was slightly in front, now that one's slightly in front. And it's very simple. And as long as we're doing that, it's literally as simple as this duplicates, then that duplicates. And now you just have to move the IK buttons. So, and that's why if you were doing this in place, it's a lot easier because... Oh, did we do this wrong? I think I did. I got the legs backwards. That's fine. But yeah, so the actual idea now is the whole cycle repeats. So we go to this passing pose, and 2 frames later, we jump to, and I should make sure those are keyframed. We go to the same first pose, but these are spread again. So that's good. And that's kind of a run. Like that's all it takes. And so as long as that's the thing. So let me actually do this now. Where we duplicate. That should be good. And then you just need to move the legs updated to each key pose. So if this is down, passing, this is our stretch pose, so we move it to stretch. Then this is our down. This is our passing. This is our spread. This is our down. It's repetitive, but hey, if you can't handle repeated actions, you probably don't want to be an animator, to be honest. That's the truth. Down. Passing. Spread. That shouldn't be a spread. Unless I messed up somewhere. Spread, down, passing. Spread, down, passing. Spread. Did I mess up? Down. Spread. Oh, okay. No, I just didn't move. I was just a frame off. It's fine. Passing. Spread. And because everything else updated, we're good. And so now that's literally a run cycle. That's it. You've made a very simple, very basic run cycle. And you can keep looping that to infinity. And the only thing that you need to do differently, and I would also make sure you can bake these keyframes so that all of the, I'm doing this by hand, but you can automate it. It's not hard. There's a menu for it. You just do that so that all the timings are set. And so now if I hit Bezier, well, except for this, yeah, not this, but if I go here, let me hide this and only for this, because the bobbing should be eased in and out because it's an arc, it's a pendulum. So you can do that very easily. And I would do, yeah, that's probably fine. But there you go. Very, very simple run animation. And from this angle, it doesn't look very good. If you want it to look good from the front, you can utilize this bone in Epic Fig Rig. Basically for the spread pose, I would lean him to the side towards his leg, copy that, and then obviously do the opposite for this one. And then for the down pose, there's none. For this one, you do a little bit. And then it's the same on the other side. And once you've done that, again, you literally just loop it. I don't know if that's necessary, but and now he just goes left to right. Now, depending on how much articulation you have, you can get this as detailed as you want. I don't know if I still have it. I'll save this. I don't know if I still have it. There was a run cycle I made back in the day that was like really detailed. It's probably outdated. Yeah. This is my favorite run cycle I've ever made. And it's like, you know, full articulation. Like the head's coming out, the torso's misaligned, the arms are coming out. It's whatever, right? Like you're going for it. But you can add a lot more character to a run. And this one's done in place. This is a good example of a difference. So now you can see what it looks like when he just runs in place. And it's also important to note that from the side, there's a frame where his legs look like that, and that doesn't look good at all. But in motion, it looks perfect. You can't tell. And so now, if I take this second root bone that controls everything, it's very easy to keyframe it in such a way that looks perfectly correct. Let me do this linear. Boom. And if I were to just do linear extrapolation. Oh, did I not do that? Oh, no, it's this one. I figured that would work. Usually it does. Well, whatever. It doesn't really matter because it's super easy to do. Let me go here. And it should be this. And so if I just come here, add a keyframe. Make sure this is set to linear. And delete this. And now he just runs. And you can set this as slow or fast as you want. Now, if you go too slow, you can tell he's not, like, that doesn't make any sense. And that's the difference with this other kind. You're controlling it kind of like a video game character does. So that you can tell the character's running a lot and not getting very far. That's where the math has to come in. You can kind of tweak it in the graph editor to beat what you want, but yeah, it's just a different style, and it has its different use cases. But it's a very good run cycle. It's like really good, actually. And that's sort of what I mean with how detailed you can get it. He bounces left and right. He turns left and right. You can actually see his whole body turns. Like, we're seeing different sides of his torso. If we go to just this, we see one side of his torso. We see the other side. And that just comes down to how detailed you want to make it. So there you go. I hope that was insightful. That was kind of slow and long, and I hope people learned something from that. I'm looking at chat again. Let's see. I'm actually curious what people said. What are people talking about? But I suck at animating. That's the last message I remember. Back, what did I miss? I have a question. Do you use Macrobrex because the website isn't working for me? I basically don't use the Macrobrex website anymore. The only time I use it now is if I want to go get a set quickly, or if I want to go get a print that's like from an official minifigure. But other than that, no, I don't. There's no reason to. Zach, I gotta ask this. I know it's controversial, says Dead. Left justified or middle justified? I don't know what that means, but if it's controversial, I'm going to choose to ignore it. How did you mirror the pose? If you hit Control C on a pose, and your and you've set up the correct naming conventions, I actually don't know if Epic Fig Rig is set to mirror poses by default, but it's very easy. As long as the mirrored poses, left and right, the mirrored bones, sorry, the left one should be labeled with just a capital L at the end, and the right one should be labeled with a capital R at the end. And if you hit Control C, you copy it, you hit Control Shift V, you can mirror the pose, so it does the opposite thing. Basically, it mirrors what both arms are doing. It's very convenient. I didn't know the minifigure was at his lowest point. I hope he feels better soon. You know, that happens when you run, you're at your lowest point, but you bounce right back up. Chat kind of died. Yeah, well, I assume some people were taking notes, and, you know, someone used Mechabricks. Oh, no, is that a different one? No, that was them. Oh, because I wasn't responding for a bit. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Mechabricks is currently down brick motion. We gotta be like AROF and built in Blender. Nice. Where can I find a link to the server? I put it earlier. Oh, it's gone? Oh, unlucky. Do you know if it will work again? I have no idea. Scrubs said he doesn't know. Yikes. Server hosting, been down a while. Someone reported Mechabricks. Yikes. Guys, the reason Zach's been gone is because he's on NDA and wasn't allowed to talk about anything LEGO while he was working on the LEGO Movie 3. I can personally guarantee you that that is not. And if I was on an NDA, I wouldn't be allowed to say anything. But I'm not, and I can tell you that's not it. You know, the truth is I've never actually worked for LEGO officially for anything. I've come close. I've almost gotten hired for 2 things. But, and I signed an NDA for one, but it came out already. I'm still not going to talk about it, just in case. But, yeah. Let's see. Is this just a regular Epic Fig Rig? It is not. Yeah, it's really not. But you could very much do it. And then this is more recent with the where is it? Ninjago run. Yeah. I that one was very much inspired by the Ninjago movie. Let's see. Was that stepped interpolation or constant? Those mean the same thing. Constant and stepped interpolation are the same thing. But you animate, basically you animate in constants, and then in traditional CG animation these days, pretty much everything's done on ones. Well, that's not true. It was true before Spider-Verse. Now Spider-Verse, a lot of things, a lot of things are more stylized. Can you show us your render settings? You know, me showing you my render settings would not actually be that useful. But if you just look up any of the literally hundreds tutorials about how to if you look up literally any of the hundreds of tutorials on how to make Blender cycles be less noisy or render faster, they will have so many things that you can do. Everyone sat gazing at him work. Yeah. I don't really like working on stream, but it doesn't really matter if I'm just, that's why I had to put chat away, because otherwise I'd be too distracted and I wouldn't be able to do it. Why are you LEGO? Why are any of us LEGO? Why can't you let go? You know? It's a good question, but I don't know the answer. Just for the record, as like an animation terminology thing, stepped interpolation and constant interpolation are the same. Linear is when it moves in a perfectly consistent pace from A to B, and spline is where it eases in and eases out, and you can control the easing yourself. As well as there are a bunch of other preset ones in Blender that you might not know about, and some of them are very useful. However, some of them are not useful at all. Like, I've never used the elastic one. I don't know what it does, to be honest. Well, I know what it does conceptually, but it's not very good. Anyway. Make a render. Dino Lego. How does that... I mean, I can, like, go to a scene and press render. I can do that. You know, for you, I'll do that. You're welcome. Here. This is one I was working on. So, I'll hit render on that, and I'll just let that render while I talk. Sometimes you just need Lego and start creating. Zach, where'd you make your Lego VTuber? I've forgotten. It's a little thing called VideoTube Mini. That's spelled... I'll type it in chat, because it's honestly faster. It's spelled that way. You can use it. You can find it there. It's easy. Do you composite in Blender or in Nuke? Neither. I composite entirely in a program called DaVinci Resolve. There's a free version, and there is a paid perpetual license version for like $100 and something. Maybe it's a little more than that, but I don't really like Blender's Compositor. I mean, it's fine, but it's not as robust as I'd like it to be. And I just don't like Nuke because that is it's the industry standard, but it's such like a money-grubbing corporation. Have you played this little indie game known as Five Nights at Freddy's? I have played Five Nights at Freddy's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I haven't played them since 4. However, I love Five Nights at Freddy's to an unreal degree. And yeah, I still follow the lore. I know a lot about Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, I know a lot. So for a while, my status on Discord was based on a theory that I heard about the newest game, and I believe it went, M2 is the crying child, what was it? Yeah, M2 is the crying child, is Gregory, is a robot, is the mimic. I believe that was my status. And if that means anything to you, then you are a nerd, but so am I. Can you use free DaVinci with flares? I actually don't remember, because I've never used free DaVinci, to be honest. But I think you probably can. I don't think that's one of the things that it shows back. I am not the mimic. I would like to say that clearly. I am not the mimic. I am not. And you can't prove it. Anyway, the render's done. I don't know. I don't know that you'll learn much from this, but there's a little render. Pretty cool. Solid render. I don't mind it. This is a good example to show, though, what I mean by cheating the lighting, though. Like, for example, these lights. These lamps aren't even transparent, like, at all. Yet, if we were to look at the... Let me clear cache so that doesn't slow everything down. If we were to look at what these lamps look like, they look like they're illuminating a room like a lamp does. Oh, I actually don't know what's happening there. Oh, that's me looking at it through the thing. But yeah, so it's honestly pretty simple. You illuminate it in such a way it looks like lights. And if you haven't learned light linking, you should probably do it. Why don't you do stop motion? Because stop motion just... it takes so long, man. It's so expensive. I have so much respect for anyone who still does stop motion animation. And I can say to you with 100% confidence, I never want to again. Okay, maybe for like a short thing. It might be fun to do once, but I could never make a career out of that. It sounds painful. Hey, Zakharoff, first time catching you on stream. Just wanted to say that I absolutely love the way you animate. I think it's really nostalgic. Great to have you back, man. Excited for what's coming. Thank you very much. That's actually really, really heartwarming. First time catching you on a stream. I barely ever stream. This is the second time I've ever streamed. But it's very good to see you too. Yeah. Thanks for the good vibes. Is Lofty your favorite stop motion animator? I don't know any other ones, but the answer would probably still be yes, because that man is talented, hardworking, and very funny. So there you go. And handsome. I've never seen what he looks like. Well, but his sig fig though. What happened to your birthday stream? I didn't think people remembered that. I took it down. I wasn't happy with how it turned out. Because it was like... I did a birthday stream last year on my birthday. But it was set to private after I turned it off, just because I wasn't happy with how it turned out. I was tired when I was doing it. I had very little energy. I was supposed to animate a whole short on that stream, and I barely got the concept out, and then that was it. And it was such like a disappointment to me. I didn't like how it turned out, so it was fine. I preferred it that way. And in fact, I think technically that's the last thing I did before the hiatus. But that said, it's fine. Are you deleting this one after? No, I'm not. This one will stay public. I'm pretty happy with everything that we've done so far. And I don't mind a lot of this stuff becoming any sort of public knowledge. Otherwise, I wouldn't talk about it. So, yeah. Frankly, I can clip parts out of it later if I worried about something. But I'm fine. It should be totally fine. How do you do Hamination's hair? I think I have that rig. I don't know if the reference is still there. I literally just... So, he had a free... Oh, it's right here. Bryson posted this reference sheet. And so, this is very, very... what about the part where you gave a spoiler? Dude, I'm not big enough for anyone to remember it. It's fine. Clip out... Oh, that's true. Yeah, the face reveal. Yeah, you know what? That should only be for the people here. You're right. But yeah, so Bryson posted this on his Twitter at some point, and it was just a very simple thing. He also posted a turnaround. I don't know where that is. But at one point I used that. You place it in the world here. It's very easy. You can literally just add a reference. If I go to image reference, and if I go to literally any image, I'll just grab one. I don't know if I have any funny wallpapers. Maybe one of those, though. Sure, this is from the newest video. You can add any image you want, and it will appear in the background, and then you can like go to wireframe and trace things. Super easy. Very useful. It's also, I don't know why this is in the low LUT version. Also, you know, even this is in another thing. If I go to videos, this, yeah. His hair, his most up-to-date version of the hair is in this scene, right? Oh, where is it? I know it's here. Oh, yeah, here we go. It was higher than I thought. Now, never thought about how large Bryson's hair was until I saw it in 3D. Yeah, no, it's a lot. Bye, Dad. Have a good rest of your day. Is it still day? It's day. This is just a random prop I made for another animation that will come out eventually. 3 animators' hairs here. Totally. Yeah, have a good one, man. Yeah. So this is just a good representation. Hello, Stortling. Yeah, so this is sort of what that one looks like. Yeah, it's pretty easy as long as you go for reference. Did you do the same for other animators? Yeah. So I think for Brody's hair, I don't remember if that one had a reference. Well, I always work from reference, but I don't remember. I think what a better example would actually be swooshes. Let me go to swooshes, because for swoosh, I had never talked to him at the time, so I didn't have a good way to get reference. So I literally went to his videos and got a shot of his hair straight on, and then got another shot of his hair from, like, I think it was this angle. Don't they all have the same hair? No. God, I wish they had the same hair. That would have been so convenient. But no, they don't. And so his is probably the most painful because it's probably the most stylized. He does have ears, yeah. Brody has ears too. I don't think Bryson does. But Brody's one had ears. But yeah, like whenever you're modeling something like this, it's best to work with reference. I'm not that great at modeling. It just so happens that a lot of animators have... I mean, it's just a product of the fact that it's cartoons, right? So a lot of them are based on very simple designs. The only time that frickin' thing isn't true is for a little person you've probably heard of by the name of Jaden, who just has the most batshit insane hair ever. Now that said, it looks very cool, but guys, all right, actually I have one that's more updated than that. Yeah. It's just, yeah, this is again another random prop of the same variety, but man, like the hair, it's just insane. Yeah, I swear it happens. I'm an adult, guys, not a baby. Yeah, honestly, Jaden's hair is probably the hardest thing I've ever had to model, and this was one of the first, so it doesn't look that good, I think. It looks good if you, yeah, if I was to set the color, maybe it'd look good. Yeah. Whatever. I'm not gonna, like, go through the full thing, but it's fine. It looks kind of good. Oh, that's a fun one. I'm glad you brought that up, actually. Animating Maz was such a fun challenge. This one. Because in his videos, dude, his glasses, the way he does it, God, look at that. Look at what the face rig used to be. Isn't that fun? Doesn't that just look lovely? I'm sure glad that I've updated from when this was the standard. But animating the glasses was a fun challenge because I don't even know what I'm looking at, dude. Here we go. You literally just animate it like it's a thing. There's no amount I can show in this. This would be awful. I think I should still have the one from the QnA, so I'm just gonna go to that. Yeah. This is not gonna run well. Hi. Hello to you, D Cole Games 4129. D Cole Gomes. Pardon. I was close. This is Hey, look. Remember what I was saying before when I said everyone cheats? Yeah, everyone cheats. There's no reason to have him stand up. That'd be stupid. So he looks like this. Can I select the camera? I'm just gonna set that so that this doesn't look awful. I don't know what this. I actually have no idea about like the frame range here. I think that's our start. Yeah, this is running terribly. How did you do the broken leg? That's a good question. I pretty much used the blender knife tool to cut it so that it did a line, and then I just rigged it as two pieces so that it can hinge around. I think it's this, right? Yeah. So this can literally bend like that, which doesn't make sense. If you think about what it's doing there, it's actually not connected, but that's fine. I'm going to head out now. It's great to see you again and your workflow. See you later. Have a good rest of your day, Sways. Or actually, what time is it for you? 9 p.m. British people. He's gone, so I can say that now. Lego knee. No. I didn't cheat, all right? There's no bending of bricks here. He just has a broken leg. It happens. 10 p.m. Yikes. 9 p.m. Yeah, that's what I said. Bye. Yeah, so this was quite a challenge. I think it was worth it, but can I just copy? Because that's going to be painful. Here we go. If I bring this to a new scene, it should be fine. The crack in the torso is so real, though. Yeah, it happens. Oh, God. It just brought so much random stuff into the scene. Whatever. Why did it bring all of this? That's fine. Let me go here. Cool. So yeah, it's a very fun challenge. His face doesn't move in that shot. This was from this angle. And I don't animate his eyes in that shot, but the mouth was also, and that was a thing. It's a standard that I wanted to have was, is it a mesh you put on his face and rigged? Yeah, so it still functions the same as like a mecha face rig. It's the exact same. It's just a lot more moving parts, right? So it's just a very custom line. Even the mouth, it's just that, but with a lot of custom shapes. Which is fine, but it takes a long time. But it was something that I had decided, right? I'm saying a lot. I just realized I'm gonna comment down on the But it was something I decided, I think since the Rebecca Parham video, that if I was ever gonna feature other animators, I wanted to basically bring them into Lego in whatever way I thought Lego themselves would do it, right? I wanted them to be like official Lego minifigures, sort of. And so that's how you get stuff like this, where it's just like, for the most part, that's straight up just what his face looks like. Hey, you're back. That wasn't long at all. Yeah, that's pretty much just what his actual like lip sync looks like from his videos, and I just did my best to recreate it. It's a fun challenge. It's hard sometimes, but I think the attention to detail sort of shines through. And yeah, the facial expressions are just... did you use reference for it as well? Yes, actually. Yes, a lot. I combed through his videos and created a facial reference sheet that I drew, I think. I said again. Yikes. I created a facial reference sheet for Maz from literally all of the facial expressions that I could compile, basically. I dream one day for knowing an animator close enough that I can just ask them, hey, do you have a facial reference sheet? I know a few well enough, but I'm not gonna bother them. But for the most part, you just, as long as you can, like, these videos are public, so you can find their stuff. How long did it take you to master the Lego Ninjago movie style? Style? I mean, in my opinion, I'm still mastering. I'm still working on it. I'm working on things all the time. Yeah, even things like this, where, like, when his teeth are closed, when his mouth is closed, the teeth do this thing, where there's, like, a little black, or not black, but dark section here. It's a lot. And you have to plan for stuff like that, because a lot of it takes custom textures. So, yeah. It's a lot of work, but it's very cool. I think my favorite of his facial expressions is over here somewhere. It's the, like, I don't know, the one eyebrow raised, but he's happy. Because I think it's the most accurate. Well, actually, some of these are pretty good. Like, that feels very Maz. I like that one. But then he goes down to, like, a slightly more angry expression. And then after that, we get this. So I really do love that look for him. Because it's just so funny. Oh, and then where both eyes are actually a circle. Because that's like his default look. But I didn't do it a lot for this. Here we go. Like, that's sort of what he actually looks like all the time. Dude, Calvin's here! Dude, I was talking about you earlier, bro. I was glazing, not gonna lie. My video got you hooked on Laws? Yeah, he's a really good animator. It's very cool. How did you come up with your name? My name is Zachary in real life, and one of my friends just started calling me Zakharoth one day, and I'm not even sure why. So I stole that. Look who's laughing now. How's everything? It's going pretty good, man. Good vibes right now. I'm just hanging out. I'm just showing random behind the scenes stuff from previous animations and the like. I just saw your last 2 videos. I had been feeling really damn alone, but just as you, last 10 months there have been happening a lot. I don't have a lot of friends, but I'll keep on for mine. Thanks. Yeah, you know, the loneliness in the world, man. It really is. What time is it right now? For me, in PST, Southern California time, it is 1:05. I really do think, like, so many people are lonely these days. In an era where technically we're the most connected we've ever been, just, you know, logically, it's rough out there. And it's okay. It's okay. We can have each other's backs. Second to last video really did impact me. Yeah, that was important. When I recorded that, I knew I wanted to make a video like that. Have you ever become friends or anything with the people you've collabed with? Yes. And yes, basically, is the answer. I'm friends with a bunch of people that I have collabed with that I haven't, like, uploaded yet. The next video is going to be a collab with another animator. And they're very cool. I think I talked about it before, actually. But, and I recorded that forever ago, but I was on a break, so I haven't done that. Hi, friend. I'm from Colombia, and I've been working on telling my stories on YouTube using the same 3D style you use. I'm following your advice and uploading my work. Thank you so much. That is incredible to hear. Thank you so much. Yeah, if I can impact you in any way, it's great. But, I mean, you're here. You've been pushing. You've been learning 3D, so it's very cool. It takes a lot of work. And clearly you got it, so I'm proud of you. Yeah, second to last video was insane. I wonder if I have any. It's sleepy time in my time zone, so I really gotta go now. And I don't think I can come back. Sorry. No need to apologize. Sleep is important. Can you give a hint on the animator, perchance? I can probably just say. I don't think he'll care. It's fine. No worries. I think I talked about it before, even. Yeah, I recorded a collab with Brody. It'll come out hopefully in a month is the goal. I have to edit that down to like an 8-minute video from like a 2.5 hour video. So we'll see. Hi, I'm Mika Milm. Or no, it's going to be an 8-minute video, and it's that we recorded for like 2.5 hours. So I have to edit it down a lot, and I'm not envious for that. That's probably what I'm doing on Tuesday. That's probably my plan. I have to edit it down from 2.5 hours to like 8 minutes, and then I have to transcribe that. So that I can start. So, yeah. It'll be fun, though. That's the one I said, if you're a Pokemon fan, good luck watching that video. That will be pretty cool. Yeah, anyway, I was talking about the real video. That was my code name for it. It's called the real video, and it was because I literally just turned on... I went to Audacity, I started recording, and then I was like, I'll just say whatever I need for as long as it takes. And it was cool. It's weird because I did, obviously a lot of them were just this sort of blank scene, just stills. And that was just so that I could say my piece without having to worry about how long it would take. Oh, the little fire loop. That's cute. So is it not scripted? No, it's not. Well, again, so by that definition, today's video and the one from 10 months ago now was not scripted. I just did it, and then I sound like Jordan from Corridor Crew. I haven't watched Corridor in forever. I really should watch more. Which one's Jordan? I can picture Ren, and I can picture the guy with long blonde hair. Is that Jordan? I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, a lot of it was this. I just wanted to film solid or B-roll. That way I could do it. The blonde short hair? Is that the guy I'm thinking of? Let me see. That's not the guy I was thinking of, though I do it. Oh, well, okay. Jordan's also the name of their, I don't know who she is to them, but I know she's in a lot of their videos. So, which one? Which one are you referring to? Do I sound like him? Or do I sound like her? Could be either one. Don't know. Anyone's guess? How do you create the fire effect? It's literally just a flame piece going back and forth.
It's beautiful here, isn't it?
Oh, the audio's here. Ignore my voice of the past. But the actual animation. Yeah, so this was one because it was literally like... for the record, I don't look anything like this in real life. Well, I say that, but I will show my face eventually. And people are like, oh, look, he does look like... I don't know. I'm Korean. I don't think this guy's Korean. That's all I'll say. But yeah, so... basically, my idea was I started doing a new denoising practice for this one, which I don't do anymore because it wasn't actually that good. But it enabled me to do actually simulated type of light where it's realistic all of a sudden. And so I wanted to just make the kind of light, the kind of Korean with red hair. It's not red. So I'm going on a tangent, but I have to. I'm not full Korean, for the record. My dad is very white. My mom's side is Korean. And so I believe I'm a quarter. My mom is half. That said, I wear my Korean heritage with a lot of pride. But it's not meant to be red hair. It's actually meant to be very vaguely blonde hair. And I know that sounds a little dumb. But if we go to... Let me do... That's fine. So the one that Lego uses for redhead is this one, I believe. Let me just do this. That's the one Lego uses for redhead. That's the one I'm using. And then if I had to pick one what my hair looks like in real life, it would be that other one that I used earlier, which is this one. This is kind of the color my hair is in real life, where it's like, it's almost brown, but it's just far enough from brown that I don't consider myself a brunette. Because when I was born, I had like golden blonde hair, like Rapunzel blonde. Not Malfoy blonde, I think that looks ugly, but golden blonde hair, Rapunzel. And it faded to this look, sort of. And I like it. I like the color of my hair. I like the shape of my hair. This is kind of what my hair looks like in real life. And it looks pretty good. I like it. I like long hair. I want to do a video eventually about complaining about long hair because I think it's pretty funny. You always thought it was ginger hair? Man, I gotta... Well, I'm not changing it, but whatever. Doesn't matter what I look like in real life. It's fine. Yeah. I just wanted it to be unique, so it's like an outdated Lego hairpiece. Or not hairpiece. They use this for everything, but it's an outdated color, and I just like using it. Anyway, so yeah, I had changed my denoising practices, and because I literally just recorded the previous video, the beginning of the hiatus video, for I don't even remember how long that was. Zach, could you please give us behind the scenes for I Beat the Algorithm? I'll do that next. I should be fine. You should create a server on Discord. I cannot bring myself to manage that sort of thing. I always say if other people want to do it, it's totally fine. They can go for it. But I just won't. I won't be like... I won't be able to be in there much. I don't have time. And I don't... Yeah. Anyway. So my idea was I just wanted to create as many cool shots as I could. And so I think this is the one. Is this the one? I actually don't know. Yeah, this one. If anyone, I actually repurposed this shot for today's video. But this was literally like, I had the ability to denoise, so I did volumetrics because volumetrics are so expensive. And it just looks so good, you know? Well, obviously there it looks a little insane. We go there. It just looked cool. Like, and this is sort of what I mean. I have today's video still because I rendered it, so it's right here. Hey. So I repurposed that shot in today's video. I think it's right here. Like, it looks so pretty. And so it was very much like I just wanted to do volumetrics because, like, in the context of any normal animation where so much other stuff is what I'm basically spending my time in. Not money, but time is money in the context, so that's where the resources are going to. So I didn't have time. But for something like this, where literally only the camera's moving, it's a good excuse to do some very pretty volumetrics. It looked very good. Okay, I can open that. This is a sort of old file. This is actually really old at this point. How the hell do you have your mats in your entire scenes, yet you manage to keep render time to 2 minutes? Like, do you mean like I don't bake it? Hold on. I'm not sure what you mean. But if you expound, I can. How do you create that illumination? So that was using like completely maxed out bounce settings and caustic settings and like no light clamping at all. And then I put a light behind basically stained glass, and then I added a cone of volumetrics, and then that's what it looks like. It looks very pretty. But yeah, someone asked about this. Where is it? If it's still here. It's so old, it might not be. Happy birthday, YouTube. Bake a cake, stunt jump, Marco. Trying to find your phone. Where's my gun? I do want to do that video eventually. I have a boyfriend, parkour test, headshot. What is headshot? I don't know what that... I don't remember that video. And then hair robbery, which is a scrapped idea. It's not in there. Maybe it's in videos. That's Rebecca Parham. There's so many spoilers in here. Well, I render for 8 to 17 minutes per frame, so that's why I... Well, I mean, yeah. And you have a 4092, as far as I remember. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it really depends. I think it depends on the scene. It depends on the thing. I'm just highly scrutinized with how much time I'm willing to give it. And to be fair, not every shot gets 2. I will easily double that to 4 if I think one needs it. Yeah. I don't appear to have the beating the YouTube algorithm video on here. It's really old, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where that is. It's probably on another computer. It's somewhere. I would have thought I brought it, but I don't see it. So, what is this? No, yeah. These are all random, like, things that I didn't even keep. Some of these are cool though. Like there's a lot you can learn out of a lot of these videos. Which one would be a good one? Dude, can I just say, this is still my favorite video I've ever made. I love this video, unironically. It felt like I pulled out all the stops. Like, the animation turned out incredible. And I did it all in one go. It's just so good.
Well, so much for 10,000 subscribers.
Yeah, this is the final.
Thank you all so much for 10,000 subscribers.
Look at the insane
we can't really afford
smears
confetti,
everywhere
but we do
else.
have one party popper.
Just so you know, because I don't bother disabling and stuff, so they just go under the scene when I'm not.
Thank you all so much for 10,000
This
subscribers.
video, I love this
So
video
much for
so
10,000
much. The smears, the animation, the comedy. Some of my favorite jokes that I've ever told were in this video. Like the watch pot never boils.
End up with.
I like the whole
watch pot never boils. That's why I brought my blindfold.
Classic. Good yell. Do you still have the Deadpool and Wolverine? I do, I believe. Yeah, I should. In the commissions folder, I have a lot of stuff. So that would be here. And this should contain all of them, as far as I'm aware. This I definitely can't have the audio for. Like 1,000,000%. This has music in it. So I'm just going to delete that as soon as I get in here. But... and then I don't know when this needs to be. Oh, so there was a jump. That's fine. I'll just set it to... There we go. It's a little laggy, but that's fine. Yeah, I still have the whole thing for this. It's very fun. There's some errors I didn't catch. Their legs sink into the floor. I don't like that. Do smears lag your scene if you move them like a blah 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 away, or is it the same as moving them right below? It's... I don't know, but I don't know why you would need to move them so far. You can, as long as they're out of... like, I just move them below the world. Because, obviously, nothing is seen over there. Yeah, they're all right here. So. Are you late? We've only been streaming for 3 hours. Yeah, I still got it. These were, I have to admit, these rigs were really fun to make. And this was one of those... Do you use one or multiple cameras? For the most part, I use one camera. However, I'm going to be switching my method that I do production in pretty soon, where every time the camera cuts, it's just a different Blender file, because that's how they do it in real production. So that is how that's going to be. Yeah, but not yet. For the most part, up to this point, I've used one camera for everything. Now, yeah, so the rigs were really fun, though. This was a case of... I wrote the script because obviously, if you didn't know, this is not in the movie. This is just a random thing that I came up with. And like they said, can we get a 30-second original sequence with maybe one bit on, if you DM me on Discord, will you accept? No, my account does not accept like random friend requests or anything. I would say I'm sorry, but that is my right. I am allowed to be tight with my privacy, and I just don't like being on Discord, to be honest. So I apologize for the inconvenience. My question was because I made an add-on that also adds smears, but when they're not in the scene, I don't hide them. Instead, it keyframes them super far away. Well, why wouldn't you just... You could just keyframe the, like, disable and viewport thing and render. You could just do that. That wouldn't be a bad idea. What do you use for textures? If you mean for... Okay. Do you mean, like, the prints on the minifigs? I'll need you to clarify. How do you make a big scene without your laptop or computer crashing? I have a good reference for that. I'll do that in a second. Yeah. So this was a good example of, like, you need to plan what your animations are going to be ahead of time. I knew that, obviously, I was going to animate Deadpool's face, so I made the rig to do his face pretty easily. It's not perfect, but it gets the job done pretty well. I don't know why that's not looking. Oh, that's why. Apparently that's separate. Oh, yeah, it's parented. That's fine. I haven't used this rig in forever. Are you the guy from Smear It? Yeah, I don't know what that is. I could, but I didn't know how to script that. That's fair, yeah. I'm not great with scripts either. But the one of the most complicated, and I still don't envy this, but I do think, how long does it take to make a rig? I have a base rig that has everything, but again, it really depends on the content for the rig. So like, is this in here? No, it really depends on the content for the rig because, this is a good example, I guess, because for this, I knew there was a shot where Wolverine talked, where he spoke, not talked. He spoke. And I did not want to do the thing where his mouth just kind of blindly moves on top. So I did actually rig it so that as he's talking, as his mouth is moving, his beard moves properly. I did do that. And I'm glad I did, and it's good, but that kind of thing does take a lot because short of hand weight painting it, there's not really a way of... No, there's no way of automating it. You pretty much have to hand weight paint it. There are a few extra things you can do, but for the most part, it's kind of hard. And that's fine. And it's worth it, but it's a lot. But then, like, you have other things, right? So for this most recent video, there's a dentist. He looks like this. Like... Obviously, this rig didn't take long. I got some prints that already existed. I threw them on. I colored him, and I gave him the default face because that's the one he has in the set. Soulless. Perfect. And it looked fun. It seems really fun to animate those action poses. Yeah. These days, though, I love animating dialogue just as much as I love animating action. But that's just me. Oh, wait, is your face rig based on Mechaface or completely from scratch? It is still based on Mechaface. It's heavily customized, but that's still technically the back end. For rendering, how many samples do you export in the rendering settings? I don't animate, or I don't render based on samples most of the time. I render based on time per frame, just so I can predict how long it's going to take. But if I had to pick a number that works for most scenes, I would pick 512, but that's not that helpful. It's better to test per scene. Do you use Mecha? Is that sorry? It's Mecha something. Someone will have to tell me. I don't remember exactly what that stands for. The answer is no, though. That's why I don't know what it stands for. Will you remember me? You've been talking a lot. I remember you. I feel like I'll remember you. That's Crow's mats. Okay. Well then, no. I don't use Crow's mats. That he made for the people. Well, that's cool. Do you think you'll switch to Mechaface 2 if it ever comes out? It just depends on what kind of crazy features it has when it comes out. If it's got like some sick features that's worth swapping to, yeah, I'll totally do it. And I'll give it all the features that I need it to do too. But how do you unparent items from the minifigs? I don't, for the most part. I don't know in what situation I would need to do that specifically. Yeah. What was the other thing? Someone asked something. Oh, about the big scenes. Yeah, so in this most recent video, I did it kind of wrong based on how I would do it. But if you watch today's video, at all, there's a shot with the DeLorean, and that was kind of insane. Because I just populated it with a ton of modular buildings and stuff in the background. And, I mean, it's cool. It's good. It looks good. It's a cheap way of populating a background to a scene and making it look pretty cool. But, honestly, it's a lot. It's still loading. This isn't me being impatient. It was still loading. So this is the scene. It's pretty empty right now. But if I unhide all of the building layers, it's a lot. I mean, it's gonna lag the whole thing. You're still live. You used the wrong "your." Sorry, but I have to tell you. I'm going to work hard so that one day I can produce projects like this. I have to go now. Good luck with the video. You too. You too. All right. Well, I give up. I failed, guys. But best of luck on your future projects. Yeah. Animation is one of the hardest things to learn to do, but it's so fulfilling. It truly is. You've managed to draw Kane from the Amazing Digital Circus and Mickey Mouse in that time. That is pretty cool. Good choices. I just finished a quick animation. Would you like to watch it, Zach? I don't know I'll watch it. I don't know what the best form for you to send it is, though. But I'll watch it if you have a way to send it. If you send a link, maybe I can view it. I don't know. Kicks the door open. I am here. Welcome, anything and everything 7. But anyway, this is what the scene is. There's a ton of just loose geometry out there for reflections and shadow. And then there's me. Hide this. Google Drive. I won't download anything. You should upload it to YouTube. I'm not going to download anything. Is that no? Oh, yeah, I made it unselectable. The giant mesh is just a random scan I brought in of LA. It's from like a background effects pack. But if I do... If it would ever stop lagging, I could show you. But it's so big, you know. I feel like the animation in the second hardest thing I learned to do, hardest were rigging models. Yeah, rigging is such a pain, man. That's part of why I'm so glad I turned it off. That's part of why I'm so glad I did Lego stuff, because you don't have to weight paint if you do it in the Lego night. Honestly, if I could pick one reason I'm glad I do it in this style is that weight painting is my least favorite part of animation. I am a stop motioner. That's already hard enough. I would venture to say stop motion is the hardest form of animation. I think that's objectively true. I want to bring up Emmett from the first movie, but can't think of any way to smoothly create a sentence for that, so I'm saying it here. Oh, and I guess the second movie. Yeah, there is something about Emmett's design. This is what this looks like, by the way. But it's not, you don't see this directly in the video. This is just for reflections. Just a random, very low quality, not even high quality texture of LA, I think. Yeah, there's something about Emmett's design. I really like it in the Lego movie. It's very simple, but it's so iconic. There's very strong color palette choices, I think. Have you seen the movie Box Trolls? I didn't. I remember when it came out. I think that's Lucasfilm, if I recall. I didn't watch it, though. I didn't. Looked interesting, though. Again, by the way, still loading. I just unhid everything and we're waiting. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Someone asked like big scenes and crashing and whatever. For the most part, if Blender crashes, it will hard crash. It will hard close. And with more recent builds, it'll tell you that Blender has crashed. If your screen does this, that does not mean Blender is crashing. That means Blender is working, and it just depends on how fast your computer is and the amount of time. Now, that said, you might have given it a monumentally difficult task that it can't complete in a reasonable amount of time, but yeah, it's not a crash. Just gotta be patient sometimes. You know, for some of the big stuff like that ILM does, like for the Transformers movies, for some of the unbelievably insane rigs they have for those movies, it took upwards of 1 hour just to save a file. And it can happen, you know, but they just tough it out. That's kind of it. That's the industry. Did you learn everything about Blender and animations from YouTube? Yes. I've never taken a course on animation or lighting or modeling. Yeah. The only thing, though, is I would recommend the book The Illusion of Life is a very good book to learn animation. This is kind of an odd lighting question, but do you use bigger or smaller lights? I kind of thought if it used bigger, it would be more like stop motion, but it doesn't seem that way. So, as far as the size of the light source in regards to how that affects your lighting, the smaller the light source, the crisper and harder the shadows. The larger the light source, the softer the shadows. As well as if you want really even lighting, like a studio-looking lighting, if you move the light really, really far, but make it big and powerful, the light will be very even. The closer it is, the more dramatic the fall-off is. So if it's up close, it feels very dramatic. If you bring it really far, you have very even lighting across the whole scene. But again, the answer is always it depends on the shot, depends on the storytelling purpose. If I want someone to tell a spooky story, I'm just going to close this. It's taking forever. If I want someone to tell a spooky story of what the what was it? A spooky story of, you know, a spooky story at a campfire or in the dark, whatever. They have a flashlight under their face, illuminating them spookily. You do a small light source. and it'll give them really unsettling, creepy shadows at the bottom of their face. You know, and actually I have a good thing for that. This is actually funny anyway, because this is cool to point out. I've messed with other styles, stuff that I want to try. I don't know that I'll ever swap to it as like my main thing, ever, to be honest. But I wanted to see if I can do an arcane style look in Blender, and I got something that I was pretty happy with. But I'll use that for what I'm talking about here. Where is it? Here? Yeah. I don't know what's the most reason. One sec. All right, anyway. So this is, ignore the fact. He's in his underwear. He's not naked. I just have to say that for reasons. This is just a random model I found, I think on Blender, or it's not called Blender Market anymore. Whatever the new one is, it's called. Anyway, this was just, I wanted to test out doing an arcane style look. And I thought it looked really cool, actually. I was pretty happy with how this turned out. It's 100% procedural. Well, I guess that's not true. You need a diffuse texture, but the very cool and pretty shading is 100% procedural. Anyway, no, don't. Fictional character. You don't need to. It's not a big deal. I'm on that. So anyway, it looks like Clone Wars. It kind of does look like the Clone Wars, yeah. Classic. Yeah. So if I want him, you can do very strong lighting if the light source is small and close, and it'll look very dramatic. The fall off is a lot, right? So the difference in, if we go here, the difference between the brightness from point to point is high, very, very high. But if we were to make this light go way further away, like way further, let me turn up the viewport. Way further away, way bigger, and way brighter. So like 10,000 watts. That's a lot. You can see the fall off is way smoother. So let me actually just divide that by 2. From this distance was the amount of time it took to get from the strongest lighting point and the darkest. It's now this distance. It's more than doubled because we made it further away but brighter. And that's good. It just and it still just depends. It looks like Gino. Yeah, it was labeled as, I don't know if that's intentional, but it was labeled as generic K-pop boy band guy. But I think it was from before K-pop Demon Hunters had released, so I was confused about that. Yeah. But this was fun. The hair was fun. That was a really fun challenge. Getting a shader, making a shader that looked any sort of good. I don't think I've ever heard of a movie made by Phil Lord and Chris Miller that has a ton of hate for it. Most of the time they get tons of love. My dad doesn't like 22 Jump Street, but I personally think it's really, really funny. So I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, the hair was a really fun challenge. I love the way it turned out though. It looks so crisp and smooth, but so good. And then yeah, there's something about the shading. It really did turn out. Let me see. There was another lighting configuration I did that was really good. I'll just mimic it. It was fine. Where's this one would have been like brighter for one. Brighter and sort of there. I think this would have been more on the reddish pink side. And then I also need a bit more front lighting, which I don't think I have any in this shot. That's fine though. Yeah, there is something about it. I really like the thing. You made the shader. How long did it take? Did you use a tutorial? I did not use a tutorial. I think I used I used a tutorial for the hair. No, I still didn't, I guess. I used a tutorial for the hair on like modeling the hair, but I did make that myself, yeah. It took a while. It took a lot of trial and error actually. I don't know if I saved them, but I have a lot of versions of this that I tried. I wonder if they are anywhere. Let's see. Nah, those are textures. Yeah. No, I don't have any. I don't have any of the work in progress stuff. Have you messed with the new 5.0 exposure setting in Light? It's not 5.0. I'm in 4.5 and I have it. But I don't adjust the exposure of lamps. I just change the exposure on the whole scene because it seems weird. I mean, I get why they did it for the Light. It's very good, but having two controls for the same thing, even though one's global and the other's not, I guess that's fine. But whatever. I think your links are disappearing. Yeah. I don't think it lets you do that by default. Like I said, I would watch it, but if I have to download something to watch it, I don't want to. I'm not going to download it. So upload it and make it an unlisted video to YouTube. But I'm not entirely sure how to let you post a link or something. But here, I don't know if I want to do that either. Can I do this maybe? No, I don't know. Yeah, sorry. I don't know how to let it oh, it's putting some, yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, this was a really fun little project I did to see if I could do it. And like even this, let me revert this cuz I liked the lighting it had by default. But there was something like it was very, very crisp on the light. There's something about this viewing like this sort of cheek right here. The way this looked, I was like, man, that's like perfectly what I was going for. And like I said, it's fully procedural, so you can apply this to anything. I have an older version of it. This is funny. This is the first version of it. Was on this like little face that I modeled, and it was just like the very like first test. That actually looks cool in its own way, but it's not yeah, obviously it's not the same. Do you have an opinion on the best type of cheese? I don't like cheese, and I will say that. Could you please teach us at least the print fading in your mats? There's not too much to teach. I would just say, wait, please apply it to the Lego model. I want to see how cursed it would be. I did it before, but it takes actually a lot of work, so I won't be able to do that here. Also, because Lego models are really smooth, so it really doesn't actually look that different. Because if you have something that's purely smooth, if I make a sphere, right? If I just do this, where's the boom? If I just do this, the this sphere looks kind of just looks like a sphere, to be honest. Yeah, I am. It is giving the thing. That's kind of funny. Doesn't look bad though, by any means. What else? But yeah, for the print fading, all I would say, just add various imperfection textures. Nice. I will copy this. Oh yeah, actually, I wonder if this will work. I'm gonna do this smart. Notepad, boom, find and replace. Spacebar with emptiness. Replace all. It kind of worked. Did you add random? Why'd you add random high? I don't know what that's about. Whatever. Did that work? Why am I searching for it? Why would it search for it instead of just navigating to it? There we go. That's weird. This site can't be reached. I don't know what to tell you, man. Pretty sure that's what you did. I'll try one more time, but if I can't get it. Oh yeah, as I was saying with the print fading though, if you just add a little texture that's an imperfection, and then just even with default megabricks, if you just subtract that from the alpha, this site doesn't support a secure connection. I don't know what you're trying to do, but it ain't working, so sorry. Yeah. Are the mats entirely procedural, or do you have to Photoshop the textures individually to add imperfections for each figure? It's procedural. Pretty much like 99.9% of everything about the Lego rig is procedural. I don't have, yeah. And so a good example of that, if I go to my figure, if I go to this and go here, if I were to randomize the pass index of this object, if I go here, it'll change completely every time. Where's that? Right here. Oh, I do need it selected though. If that's even. Oh, is it not? Oh, because this is linked to the rig. Yeah. Whatever. It'll work now. Here we go. So yeah, every time I change this number, it will completely change all of the imperfections on the part. And it's really not that bad. It's not that hard. If you were to improve your Lego setup, what would be the next thing you work on? I have a big list of updates that I'm gonna do. That's a good question, though. I don't know. I don't want to show my list because I don't know what's on it. But I will look at it real quick and tell you what's the next priority that I have that I will implement. Let's see. A lot of the ones I have here are boring, but the only one that I have, I love the fuzzy print edge. I haven't been able to make it. Yeah, it does look really nice. The little thing. And the edge mask, too, of like here, where around the edges, it's just less strong. Looks cool. Do you animate on twos? I don't, when I animate, I don't animate on any particular. I animate on constants and just do the key poses, then the extremes and stuff. But then I do often use twos, but I don't use twos 100% of the time. It just depends. If you could, would you remove France? What's wrong with France? My favorite Assassin's Creed game takes place in France. But yeah, so I think the next thing I'm working on is I'm going to just change this if I can get... Here, I'll just do this. So on the bottoms of the feet, the noise pattern that's going between where it's allowed to be streaky and where it's allowed to be smooth is just too crisp in my opinion. So I'm going to soften this. I can probably do that now, to be honest. It's probably not that hard. I'm not going to do it. This won't be the final one, but it'll be a good check for it. Do I have... I think it's bottom. I also don't remember where it is, to be honest. I don't know. It's some noise texture. Is it this one? No. That's a different one. There's so many... Man, the materials... Yeah, there you go. This one. So this is being multiplied in a way that's just way too strong. So I think I'm going to soften this texture. That's the next thing I'm going to do. Yeah, a lot of people... When I visited... I went to Paris... And my family complained. They said it was dirty and whatever. But I was like, I don't know. I think it's beautiful. I think the history of the nation is incredible. And I really love it. So, that's just my take. I'm probably going to wrap it up there. I've been streaming for 3.5 hours. Which, I didn't have a plan for how long I would go. But that's about right. That's about what I have in mind. I'm all out of water. And I have a big old headache, and my throat hurts because I've been talking nonstop for 3.5 hours. So, I think I am going to log off, but I will finish reading chat for a bit. Opinion on spaghetti. I love spaghetti. Paris is not the best city. There's a lot of problems there. Oh yeah, it's not the best in the world, but I still love Paris. Every city's got problems, but my favorite city in the world is San Francisco. It definitely has problems, but it also is one of the most progressive cities in the world and has a lot of people who love it and a great history. Thank you. Now I can be set free to the real world. Water is the perfect timer. Goodbye. Make sure you remember me. I will remember you. What was your name? No, I'm kidding. I got you. I'll remember you. Got it. What's your favorite show? Right now it's Has Been Hotel, but I don't watch a lot of series. This is my favorite series of all time. Probably Tangled the series because it has great music and a really good plot. All right, that's gonna be it. Everyone, I'm deleting this message because I fundamentally disagree with it. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, Diamond, you're back right as I'm ending the thing. Wait, can you watch my animation before ending the stream? I just don't have a. I don't have a way. Sorry, you can't post links. I don't know how to do it, so there's not a good way to do it. But, yeah. But there are plenty of people in this stream. If you go to the Blenderbrick server, I'm sure someone will be able to help that and give you some really big. Oh, his YouTube? It's on his YouTube? Okay. You know what? Sure. For you, I will do that. Is it the most recent one? Which one is it? What is this from? Which one is it? I'm new. Please shout out. You know, shout out Cosmic Stop Motion G5J. It's the Iron Man one. Bet. Yeah. G5J. Oh, I clicked on my stream on accident. This was the Iron Man 3 fight. Respectable. Good movie.
Well, here we are on the roof.
Like that smear.
Mark 42 inbound.
I'll be damned.
Best Iron Man suit of all time, by the way. Love the Mark 42. Bonk. Classic.
Whatever.
Very fun. I enjoyed that. Big news, guys. Don't autoplay my own video? What are you doing? Yeah. Good vibes. You fill with determination. Nice. Undertale reference. All right. That's the stream, everyone. I hope you are, hope you're all good and, abolish cheese. That's, I think, what we learned today. Just get rid of cheese. Yeah. Everyone, have a great rest of your day. And I'm going to probably lay down and eat something. Do not go. Do not come, I believe, is what they actually say.